Last time on Conquest of Dovah, Sorin buried Trogdor with his Mold Earth spell and left an inscription to honor his fallen ally. Here lies Trogdor, he was someone. Sorin used Mold Earth to burrow underneath the locked shed and climb through the tunnel he made. When Sorin emerged, he observed a cardboard cutout of a person wearing a ghost costume. He also saw another door in the room, aside from the shed exit. Sorin and Vekni secreted themselves inside the tunnel Sorin created with Mold Earth. Sorin sealed off the outside entrance so both warriors could rest from their battle with Brian and Kevin. Sorin ritual casted alarms so he would be alerted if anything attempted to attack he and Vekni. The pair rested without incident. Sorin and Vekni both woke up feeling more powerful than before. Completely invigorated and refreshed, Sorin and Vekni emerged from the tunnel back into the shed. Vekni searched through the boxes and found a brass medallion. The medallion had a pendant with the design of a skull with purple eyes. The adventurers opened the other door in the shed and found it to be a closet. Inside there was a skeleton hanging from a rope. "Looks like Marigold has some skeletons in her closet," Vekni remarked. Sorin casted Identify on it and found it was a non-magical wax skeleton and not real bones. Vekni and Sorin exited the shed back into the courtyard, then traveled down the crypt staircase that the horde of zombies emerged from. The adventurers found themselves inside a dirt tunnel. Far into the tunnel, at a distance, the party observed a ladder propped up against a dirt wall. The tunnel was approximately 80 feet long, 25 feet wide, and filled with spiderwebs. Sorin handed Vekni a torch, which she lit, and the duo began to advance. As they moved forward, the party smelled a kerosene-like odor. Both adventurers stepped back, and Vekni threw the torch she was holding towards the webbing. Most of the tunnel turned into an inferno, and all of the webbing burned away, as an accelerant on the floor, walls, and ceiling burned intensely. Once the tunnel was clear, Vekni and Sorin walked forwards towards the ladder. Vekni stepped on a pressure plate, which depressed under her weight. She surmised the plate would have activated a trap, igniting the accelerant that was in the area. Upon reaching the ladder, Vekni reached out for it and realized the ground underneath her was recently disturbed. She called out to Sorin, who used Mold Earth on the area, revealing a group of 4 ghouls lying in wait. The ghouls leapt out of the hole, snapping their sharp teeth at any exposed flesh they could find. 2 of the ghouls bit deep into Vekni's arms, one on either side. Another ghoul sank his teeth into Sorin's back, finding whatever real estate it could. Vekni swept the leg of one of the ghouls that bit her. The creature stumbled towards the high elf pirate a bit. While the beast was off balance, Vekni delivered a rapid double uppercut combination, left, then right, decapitating and killing the monster. Sorin casted mage armor on himself, since his spell had worn off after he and Vekni rested. Then he pulled out a dagger and stabbed one of the ghouls in the side. Sorin was bit again on the shoulder by one of the ghouls. Vekni delivered 2 whip slashes to the ghoul Sorin stabbed. Then she roundhouse kicked it into the dirt wall, where the creature collapsed and died. Sorin casted Mind Sliver, delivering a psychic attack to one of the ghouls, then turned and slashed at the other remaining beast with his dagger, narrowly missing it. Vekni landed a devastating blow onto the neck of one of the ghouls, collapsing his throat, causing the beast to fall dead onto the tunnel floor. Then she turned and punched the last remaining ghoul in the chest. Sorin casted Mind Sliver on that last remaining ghoul, damaging the beast's mind and debilitating it. The ghoul took Sorin's back and snapped its teeth at the young wizard. He casted silvery barbs to avoid taking damage, but the creature bit hard into his back anyway. Vekni teed off on the last ghoul, nailing him with a combination of punches and ending it with a decapitating uppercut. Vekni approached Sorin and wiped her gore-covered knuckles off on his cloak. Vekni and Sorin ascended a ladder. They entered into a dark bedroom. In the center was a cauldron bubbling and filled with some type of green liquid. The adventurers looked around the room a bit, and Vekni found a framed picture on a dresser. The picture was of Kevlian Greystone, Odoacer dressed in a loincloth, Dokkan Swiftwater dressed as a simple bard, Gragas Stormbringer, Zombini and Dara, and Marigold Mandred. Vekni studied the photo of the son she never knew for a time, as well as his missing nose. Sorin called out to Marigold, asking her how Grandma Greentooth was doing. Immediately after, a loud boom emanated from everywhere. Black smoke filled the room, erupting from the cauldron as if a smoke bomb went off, and air escaping, like the hissing of a tea kettle, could be heard emanating from around the area. Moments later, the smoke turned orange and thinned out, turning pink, then clearing completely. A young girl appeared in the clearing smoke. She appeared to be a teenager with long blonde hair, black robes, and long loose wizard sleeves that extended all the way down her arms and halfway down her hands. The girl had a very pretty face with yellow speckled purple eyes. She had a dimple on her chin and was very smiley with a slight glint in her eye. The girl wore a pointed witch's hat with a buckle on it and black high heels with brass buckles on them. She was pretty curvy and well endowed for her apparent age. The girl giggled and said,
"What brings you silly gooses to my mansion?"
Vekni was disappointed she and Sorin went through so much trouble just for this little girl. Sorin greeted the young witch and asked if she had her fun. She told him she had a great time as he and his companions were so entertaining. Sorin asked if Marigold knew where Ethel Greentooth was, and she answered Ethel was currently in Dovah. She was creating a new witches' coven in a place called Van Brighton's Labyrinth. Sorin asked if she knew who he was, and Marigold told the silly goose that she did not. She added that while she did not know him, he looked like a creepo. Sorin was speaking with Marigold normally, but she turned away shyly and bashfully told him she did not like the way he was looking at her. Sorin explained he was King Doken's stepson, as well as the son of Wilma Wormwiggle. During their conversation, Marigold and Sorin both agreed Doken was a creepo. Marigold told Sorin she returned to the material plane approximately 1 year ago, suddenly awakening in Epona's bog after being sucked into a black hole immediately after defeating Vlad. She explained the bog reminded her of the fetid garden and Auntie Ethel's shack, so she decided to make her own home deep in the swamp. While discussing Vlad, the Burning Fist, and current events, Marigold disclosed she did not believe her Auntie Ethel had a relationship with Wilma Wormwiggle any longer, and that the two no longer spoke. Sorin asked Marigold what her plans were, and if she intended to live in the bog by herself in the middle of nowhere. Marigold told Sorin she had been having the absolute best time. She explained people kept trying to break into her mansion, so she would play tricks on them and mess with them, and it was just so much fun. As an afterthought, the young witch briefly apologized for killing Trogdor. Sorin asked Marigold to bring Trogdor Dragonbane back to life, and she told him she could, but he would have to entertain her first. The young witch explained she does not cast her more powerful spells in her bedroom, but rather preferred to use the shack outside the mansion. Marigold stated she had the perfect game in mind for her own entertainment. She asked Sorin and Vekni if they were interested in playing. "What's the game?" asked Sorin.
"I have a couple more friends that you haven't met,"
she explained.
"I'll introduce you to them. If you survive, I'll bring your friend back, and if you don't, then I won't."
Sorin asked, since the two of them were second cousins, if they could forego the games and she could just revive his friend for him. Sorin cast a suggestion and used Portent to warp space and time to force the young witch to fail. Despite Sorin's powerful combination of a spell and ability, Marigold effortlessly resisted his magic. Marigold declined, but did say Sorin and his friend entertained her and were fun, adding a tee-hee for good measure. Vekni asked Marigold if she had anything to drink. Marigold answered yes, explaining she was new to it, but was working on a witch's brew. Marigold stated she wasn't positive she used the right ingredients, but if she made the brew properly, drinking it would fully restore a person's magic and health. She insisted Vekni have some, motioning to her cauldron of bubbling green liquid. The two adventurers looked into the cauldron and saw humanoid heads, bones, and limbs, many of which looked really small. Vekni asked about the contents of the concoction, but Marigold was evasive with her answers. "Bottoms up," Vekni said. Both adventurers used a large ladle to partake in the mixture. To Sorin, the brew tasted good with a sweet, sugary flavor. The wizard regained all of his health and spell slots, but Vekni had a different experience. After drinking the concoction, Vekni's insides felt as if they were being burned by acid.
I guess the ratios aren't quite correct yet. I'll have to work on it more. You can try another scoop if you want."
Vekni declined and spit up bile onto the floor.
So what do you say? You want to entertain me some more, T?
Asked the witch. Sorin agreed, but Vekni declined.
He said yes.
Marigold quickly said. Vekni told Sorin to have fun and sat down on Marigold's bed. Marigold did a twirl and gave a little curtsy, then casted a spell with the strange rhyme. Black smoke filled the room once more. As it thinned out, the smoke turned orange, then pink. Emerging from the smoke, the adventurers observed a wraith-like figure, glowing blue with a flowing cape, full helm, and a long sword. Two additional, unarmored wraith-like figures were standing on both sides of the glowing blue figure. One of the wraiths rushed at Sorin. The ethereal being swung at Sorin twice with its sword. The first slash missed as Sorin casted Shield. The second slash collided with Sorin's magic barrier, shattering the sword to pieces. The other armorless wraith came at Vekni, who was relaxing on the bed, slashing at her twice and connecting with a blow to her left side. Vekni clapped back, delivering a 3-punch combo to the wraith's center mass. On each blow, Vekni channeled ki and attempted to stunning strike the creature, but it resisted each and every one. Sorin smashed open an air elemental gem at the feet of the wraith in front of him. The creature formed in the same physical space as the wraith. Sorin slashed at the same wraith with his dagger, but missed. The armored, glowing blue wraith pointed his sword forward, and a slight blue aura surrounded its body. The entire room began to shake. Four additional wraiths materialized around the glowing blue armored wraith, as if he had summoned them from the ether. The air elemental, while occupying the same space as a wraith, slammed the wraith with all its might. While the attack did do damage, it was not as effective as Sorin expected. The wraith, without a sword, which was in the same space as the air elemental, meekly punched at its opponent, which did not appear very effective. 3 of the other wraiths rushed at the air elemental, slashing at it. All 3 would have struck home, but Sorin casted silvery barbs, causing one of them to miss. The wraith occupying the same space as the elemental was also struck, but the slashing damage was not fully effective on the wraith or the elemental. Another wraith slashed Sorin's chest. Vekni drew out Ignis and hurled it at one of the wraiths. The lightning magic streaked through the air, damaging 2 of the creatures before plunging into a third. Vekni lifted her right leg and delivered a blindingly fast straight kick to the midsection of a badly injured wraith. The creature rasped out in its death throes as light escaped from cracks in its body. The elven pirate took a short hop under her right foot and snapped the front roundhouse with her left, cleaving straight through the badly injured spirit. The creature fell backwards and disappeared in a flash of light. Marigold's voice echoed throughout the room, giggling with delight. Sorin drew a circle of blood around himself and casted Summon Lesser Demons, summoning 8 Dretches, small, green-skinned, pointy-eared demons from the abyss. The glowing blue armored wraith slipped behind one of the Dretches with his long sword raised high in the air. The small demon spun around as the spirit sliced downwards at the creature twice, killing it easily. The air elemental spun and spun around, dealing damage to the wraith, sharing a space with it. The damage was not effective against the wraith, and the ethereal creature was able to resist being flung away by the elemental's attack. The wraith occupied by the air elemental punched at it, while 2 other wraiths slashed at it with their swords. The wraith struggled to land a blow on the elemental, as only one of them connected. Sorin casted silvery barbs to protect the air elemental from critical damage, mitigating some of it. The wraith inside the elemental was damaged by the sword strike as well. A wraith slashed Sorin in the shoulder, but he was able to maintain his concentration on the Summon Lesser Demon's spell. Vekni was struck twice in the chest and stomach by a wraith's sword. The High Elf pirate lashed the chest of the glowing blue wraith twice, stunning him with a stunning strike on the second blow. She She then turned her hips and landed a right hook into the stunned creature's ribs. Sorin casted Tasha's Mind Whip on the glowing blue wraith, attacking its mind with his psychic magic. 5 of the Dretches surrounded a wraith and tore at it, biting and slashing the spirit with sharp claws. The Dretches' attacks weren't very effective, but the little demons were in a complete frenzy. They began to peel the wraith apart, limb by limb, until it expired in a flash of light. The air elemental spun and spun around again, dealing damage to the wraith, sharing a space with it. The disarmed wraith punched the elemental, hurting it and himself. A wraith attacked Sorin with 2 sword slashes, but he avoided the first swing and used silvery barbs to protect himself from the second. A wraith stabbed one of the Dretches surrounding it. Vekni whipped the glowing blue wraith twice, and each time she channeled ki to stunning strike the creature. The glowing ghost resisted the ability both times. Vekni followed up and delivered an elbow to the creature's jaw. Sorin looked over to the glowing blue ghost and noticed the creature appeared to be injured. He observed that in the areas where the wraith received damage, strange beams of blue light were shining from the wounds. Sorin casted Tasha's Mind Whip on the glowing blue wraith, damaging it with psychic magic and debilitating it. Dretches surrounding one of the wraiths attacked with teeth and claws, digging into and tearing at the spirit. A Dretch slashed a different wraith with its sharp claws. The glowing blue wraith slashed another Dretch twice with powerful blows, killing it. The air elemental spun with intense speed, lifted the wraith in its space up to the ceiling, then smashed the creature back down to the floor of Marigold's bedroom, killing it. The air elemental immediately moved to another wraith, occupying the same space. A wraith stabbed a Dretch twice with his sword, badly wounding it. Vekni landed a combination of bare-knuckle strikes on the glowing blue wraith. Sorin blinked Dexter, his owl familiar, into the room. 2 of the Dretches bit and slashed at the glowing blue wraith, slightly damaging the spirit with ineffective attacks. The glowing blue wraith pivoted and sliced the Dretch clean in half with a horizontal stroke, killing the little demon. Then he turned to another Dretch and landed a blow in the creature with his blade. The air elemental slammed the wraith, sharing its space. In response, the wraith slashed the elemental, damaging the elemental and itself. Another wraith stabbed Vekni with its blade, then lifted its sword for an overhand strike, but the blade slipped from its grasp and clattered to the ground behind it. Vekni landed 2 whip slashes and a gut punch on the glowing blue wraith. Light seeped out from many wounds on the creature's body as it barely clung to life. Dexter, Sorin's owl familiar, soared towards the glowing blue wraith and flew above the spirit's head. Sorin directed Dexter to descend onto the creature and attempt to touch it. Through his familiar, Sorin casted Vampiric Touch, but the blue wraith dodged Dexter, avoiding the spell. 2 Dretches tore at the glowing blue wraith's armor, ripping pieces off. The 2 demons scratched at the spirit's face, gouged its eyes out of its ethereal sockets, and the blue wraith was brought down to the ground. The glowing spirit burst into a bright blue light and disintegrated. A wraith stabbed a Dretch through its head, killing the evil fiend. Vekni attacked the wraith before her with a combination of 3 punches, but she was unable to connect. The High Elf pirate became frustrated as she was critically low in health. Not only that, but her wizard companion and his summoned allies were carrying much of this battle on their shoulders. Sorin casted Polymorph on his badly injured elven friend, transforming her into a giant ape. Sorin casting Polymorph forced him to drop concentration on his Summon Lesser Demons spell, banishing the remaining 4 Dretches back to the Abyss. The air elemental lifted up the wraith in its space and slammed the spirit to the floor, where it bursted into light and disintegrated. Without the Dretches to contend with, one of the wraiths moved to Sorin and swung at him twice with its sword. The first slash struck the wizard's chest, while the second attack missed, and the creature's sword slipped out of its hands, skipping and sliding across the floor. Sorin reeled from being struck with that first blow, and he dropped his concentration on the polymorph spell. Vekni transformed back to normal, still badly wounded. Sorin cast a vampiric touch and attempted to touch the wraith before him, but it avoided his grasp. The air elemental slammed the wraith, sharing its space. The wraith attacked back with his sword, harming the elemental as well as himself. The wraith that was attacking Sorin retrieved its weapon and resumed the assault on the human wizard. Sorin was able to avoid the spirit's strike. The air elemental slammed the wraith, sharing its space once again. The wraith before Sorin raised its blade overhead, then brought it down towards the reeling mage. At the last moment, Sorin casted Shield, and the spirit's blade clanged off his magic barrier. Sorin held out his wand of Fireball and casted the spell. A ball of flame erupted behind his assailant, dealing considerable damage to the creature with fire magic. The air elemental lifted up the wraith in its space and slammed the spirit on the floor, where it bursted into light and disintegrated like the others. Then it entered the space of the last remaining wraith. The wraith swung wildly at the elemental, hurting itself and its opponent. Sorin could see the final wraith was badly wounded. A great deal of light poured from its many open wounds. The human wizard nonchalantly jabbed the spirit in the chest with his dagger. The creature opened its mouth to scream, but no sound came out. The wraith disintegrated and was gone. The adventurers had won the grueling battle against the wraiths. Sorin used an empty vial he had on him to scoop up some translucent blue dust from a deceased wraith. Black smoke filled the room once again. As it thinned out, the smoke turned orange, then pink. Marigold stood before the weary adventurers.
That was awesome!
She giggled. She beckoned Sorin and Vekni to follow her to her shed so she could resurrect Trogdor. Marigold led the pair outside the mansion over to her shed. The shed door had a painting of vines on it, as well as actual vines covering the door. Marigold recited a rhyme, and the vines receded. She led the adventurers inside. The interior of the shack was ruined. The walls and furniture appeared broken apart and destroyed. There were entrances to other rooms, but the doorways were choked with debris and impassable. Marigold snapped her fingers, and fire sprang up within a brazier underneath a black cauldron. Orange liquid inside the cauldron began to bubble intensely. Marigold approached a broken shelf on a wall and removed skulls, various flasks filled with different colored liquid, and pouches of assorted powders. Then she proceeded to place these ingredients into the cauldron. Marigold began to mutter in a language the adventurers did not understand. After several minutes, it appeared the witch completed the preparations. She closed her eyes and raised her hands, facing her palms down towards the contents of the cauldron. After a few moments, a big gust of wind entered the room and began to violently whip around. Furniture was tossed around, and many items fell off shelves and clattered to the floor. Marigold's hair was blown about wildly, and thick, purple veins appeared on her forehead. She opened her eyes and her pupils were gone, only the whites were visible. Marigold recited the same rhyme over and over again.
Hocus pocus, souls in contract. Break through purgatory. Bring his soul back.
Purple lightning flashed and danced around the room, ripping and tearing through the floors and walls. Clearly, Marigold had casted other powerful magics in the shack, which was why it was in such a state. Marigold Mandred, looked to Sorin with intense white eyes. She said,
One of you must take responsibility for this soul. Who will sign the contract?
Marigold reached into her cloak, revealing a hot pink bra. She pulled out a piece of parchment and handed it to Sorin. The contract read, The signer of this contract binds his soul to another to bring both to the same living plane. Upon death of either party, both souls will belong to the being who formed this contract for all eternity. Sign here.
Welcome back to another episode of Power Word Nerd.
So we're back with some more Power Nerd.
Fat girls. We're talking about fat girls.
Back to more Power Nerd when we were playing Dungeons and Dragons. We left off last time where the adventurers finally found the witch Marigold Mandrid. They battled her minions, defeated them.
You know what's sad? She's fat. She still doesn't have tits.
That's the worst kind of fat.
It's the worst kind of fat.
They tried to resurrect Trogdor, who had perished earlier in the session, but Marigold was willing to do so. She started to cast a spell, and then she said, Here, sign this contract that will bind your soul to Trogdor's. If you were to die, he would die also. If he dies, you would die. And if either of you die, I get your souls forever. Sorin declined to sign the contract.
You know, Vekni wouldn't even sign it if it was Sorin.
Really?
She's an elf.
What if it was Kevlin?
That's her son.
It's your son.
So yes?
Yeah.
And they're both half elves.
He's a half elf, so he's got a long time to live, even though he's not alive.
It's just the worst kind of contract.
You guys are in the shed with Marigold. She finishes the spell. You said you didn't want to sign the contract. She puts the contract away, and she goes, "Okay."
I don't want to sign it either. This contract doesn't seem very fair.
Well, it's a powerful spell, powerful magic. It requires a sacrifice.
Isn't that just like a normal cleric spell?
And do I look like a cleric to you? And she does like a little bit of like a pose. Just one of those poses that you see girls do on like Instagram and shit, where she like kind of like she takes her she tenses up her leg and she kind of turns like this and pokes out her butt.
Like sucks in her gut.
She sucks
pushes out her chest.
She doesn't have a gut, but she does push out her chest.
Oh, sorry.
She's like, do I look like a warlock to you? Tee. She goes like this.
I mean, you do look like a warlock.
Like a cleric to you? Tee.
I don't know, maybe clerics that worships a witch. I don't know.
It's not to get into any altercations because I have 0 spell slots.
I mean, if you fight her and kill her, it still doesn't resurrect Trogdor, so...
I mean, I only met him like 2 hours ago. It's not that big of a deal.
Okay.
You know, also, and I felt worse about those villagers that got killed in the war.
There's not much you can do from someone when they die.
So I guess you guys are done here? Toodaloo!
Now Dokin was able to get us here. Was there any way you could get us back to the dog pound quickly?
I suppose I could teleport you back there, but...
I need her to say she wants to join the Brain Quest.
I don't care.
All of this was because of that.
I guess that's true. So when to ask her?
Should I be so blunt?
He has a question for you.
Okay.
Be blunt, boy.
Marigold is.
Do you want to join the Burning Fist again?
He'll do that and also do that too. Do you want to join the Burning Fist again?
Since we're going anime.
I don't know what that means.
For what? Why? I love it here. This is great.
They were your brothers and sisters, and you sacrificed yourself with them.
I don't really care about them anymore.
I see you still care about King Doki.
Yeah, Doki he's great. He's a little bit of a creepo, but You don't feel that way for Gragas or Wundren? I even heard that
Doesn't know when.
who's Wundren? Whatever. I even heard that Odoacer used to protect you. Odoacer, he was very brave. He killed that creepo vampire. He was such a silly goose. You know, right now they could really use you, and it'd be a shame if you just turned your back on them when they were always there for you. Alakazam, Alakazee, a wizard asked for pretty little me.
Yes.
Gee, what do I have to do? At this time, I don't know. The only thing I need to know is if they call upon you, you'd be there to help. You guys are pretty impressive, beating all my little friends in my mansion. But if you do something for me, then I'd be willing to help you. What is it? When me and the Burning Fist, when we fought that vampire, Vlad, all those years ago, well, Vlad said that my parents were in the room, and that they were turned into vampires, but I could tell that wasn't really them. I do think they're out there somewhere. That's why I came to Dovah. I heard that there was a strong vampire somewhere, and that he had other little vampires to follow him. If you could just find him for me, I'll do what you want. You want us to find your parents? Find my parents, or just the vampire?
Do you know where else this vampire is?
Somewhere in Dovah. I'm not sure exactly. Family must mean a lot to you, huh? It does.
And you have not seeked out this vampire on your own.
I've asked around a lot about him. Doki does a lot of that for me. He's a great friend. He gives me updates all the time. But he always looks at me like looks at my chest. I don't know, it's kind of weird.
It gives off Electra's vibe.
Would you do anything for your family? Yeah, for my parents, definitely. I say this because in some way you and I are family. Roll persuasion.
A great nephew or something like that?
Your DC is 18. Yikes. 6.
No importance? No inspiration?
My important is a 2. I have no inspiration unless someone's got something for me.
Why don't you, No, never mind. So it was.
So, while what you say is true, well, I really want to find my parents, and having another set of eyes looking for them, I think, is really worth it. Do you have any kind of lead on where we should head? Yes, she says, okay, close your eyes. I close my eyes. She walks up to you and she puts a hand on your forehead. She channels some magic, and you see this image. We have not seen that one yet. No. Okay. And she says, well, Doken's been looking into this for me. He uncovered this symbol. It has something to do with the vampire and my parents, but he couldn't really find out any more information about it. Does he know where he saw that symbol from? It was in a book that spoke about a vampire. A powerful vampire that was part of an order of people that wanted to rule the world. As to what you asked about whether or not I could bring you back to the Dawghouse, I have a pretty powerful connection to Doken. I can bring you back to him.
That would be a lot better than trudging through your bog.
Sure.
It would be appreciated.
I mean, we're quite a few miles away from the Dawghouse. If you were to walk there, it would be a pretty far walk.
To be honest, I don't know which direction to go. So that would be much appreciated.
But if you were to leave and go back there, how would you find your way to us again?
Smites.
Dokken took us here.
You know what I mean? And
So you have to find Dokken and then he can send you?
I
This
suppose
is
so.
a D6, but this
Hold on a
is
minute.
2d6, and it pushes them 10
And
feet
she,
and knocks them prone.
Walks into one of like the shattered
Yeah.
back rooms that you notice in the shed, and you hear her like rummaging around back there for a few minutes. She comes back out, and she goes, "Here, you silly goose," and she hands something over to you.
Okay, I'll take it.
You look at it, and it looks like this really, really poorly made doll. The doll is, it looks almost like a Cabbage Patch, very sparse on detail. The doll,
Full of boots.
it has these clothes of, these worn pirate clothes, and this tan skin with it's got these pointy elven ears, and this big pirate hat. And it looks a lot like a doll version of Vekni.
What is this?
You can use that to come here again. Just repeat the phrase, "Silly goose, tee-hee," over and over again, and it'll bring you here. But once you use it once, the magic will be spent.
So it's like a teleportation back to her?
Be careful though, because, well, I had to use a special kind of spell to make this. If any damage is done to this doll, well, the damage will happen to you too.
Of course, it's something.
So protect it.
See Dan's back.
Hey, bud. Cousin. I see that you use power and magic beyond what I've ever seen.
I'm pretty strong.
Yeah.
If you keep at it, you'll be strong like me one day, maybe.
Do you have any spells you can show me or teach me that you learned from Grandma?
Roll persuasion. Sure. She does have multiple spells. I'm gonna give you separate DCs.
Okay.
12, 14, 16, 18.
First roll's an 18.
You're only getting one roll.
Oh.
Okay. So 18 is what you rolled?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have 14 plus 4.
So you would have to expend, for you to copy this in your spell book, you would have to follow your rules, whatever the wizard rules are for copying spells into a spell book.
Yeah.
But
It's 2 hours for every level this spell is, and 50 gold for every level that it is too.
you'd have to look up
I
the
know,
level
yeah,
it is,
that's what
but
it
you
says.
rolled the high roll, so I'm giving you the strongest spell
Okay.
that she has
Sure.
that you can have, which would be Confusion, which I think is a high level spell, somewhat.
Is it greater than 4?
Probably.
Yeah.
She scribbles it down for you. It's written in common.
It's a 4th level spell. Well, thank you, and is there anything I need to mutter in order to use this incantation?
No, it's a pretty strong spell, but if you're able to learn it, shouldn't have any issues. But just do me a favor, Sorin. It's important to me that you find my parents, so keep your companion safe. I have a feeling that she leans in really close, and her mouth is like an inch from your ear.
Tongue comes out a little bit.
I have a feeling that something bad's gonna happen to that doll. Try to do your best to protect it.
No, just keep this doll. I don't want it.
I will. Thank you, cousin.
You guys ready to go back to see the good king, Dokken?
Before we do, is there a place that we can rest our heads?
No, let's just go back. I don't want to be in this mansion anymore. You can rest at the bar, at the inn.
Fair enough.
I mean, it's up to you. None of
Take us back, please.
Okay. She, all the wind starts whipping around like before, whipping up on her hair. Her eyes go completely white like before, and she holds up her hands, and this magical aura surrounds her. And she goes, "Snakeskin and curdled milk, a halfling's eye and dove in silk."
And one instant you're looking at her do all this, the next instant you're sitting in the cannabis cafe in the Dawghouse.
What time is it?
You cannot tell. Yeah, you can't tell.
Yeah, isn't this place underground?
Yeah.
What time of day was it in the main? Oh, it's always dark.
You don't know. It was, you were there for hours, so
I guess we'll go try to find Doken.
in the bar you see a couple things.
Okay. Is Doken in here?
You see, yep, so Doken's in there. You see the young half-elf girl behind the bar. You see that deadly-looking orc in black armor, pure blood, who you met, the one that you gambled with. You see the that guard for King Doken, Aldrin Brownfinger, the smelly, dirty-looking dwarf. You see that wizard Melvin, the one that you have your issues with. The ebony human knight's no longer there. You see that man in a brown cloak sitting by himself, the same one that was in Morgan's Tavern that you never spoke with. That demure olive-skinned beauty with busty with the wide hips and the curvy bosom, the one that you guys think that Doken's banging, she's there.
Pinky.
But yeah, her name's Pink Mango. Yeah. And an instant after you guys find yourselves in the bar, boom! The doors to the bar swing open, and a dwarf rushes in with great urgency.
Yes, me, huh?
Yeah,
That's you. Great urgency.
Great urgency. I rush in. I see you two.
Us too.
See, I find you two.
Okay.
Have you seen Trogdor? I've been sent by his father to find him, to bring him back home.
No, I never heard of him.
What's that axe on your back? That looks familiar.
Oh, I found this since
You have Zone of Truth.
I was asked by his father to come find him that he was in grave danger. He was very afraid for his life.
Well, he should be afraid for his life. Well, not anymore.
No, what happened?
He's dead.
Oh,
Sorin will look to you with like this upset kind of face, and he's gonna reach into his jacket. He's gonna pull out Trogdor's ring.
oh, this is not good. I will bring us back to his father.
Okay, bye.
But while I'm here, do you two need help with your travels?
I don't know. Are you any tougher than Trogdor?
I helped train Trogdor, so hopefully I'm better than how he turned out. I am the guard of the family. They entrust me with their life. So I'm hoping to help you guys out if need be.
Trogdor was very brave, very foolish, but very brave.
He was young.
He
did not know better.
He ran face first into battle, smiting everything
Sounds like him.
He blew his load very quickly.
very quickly.
He's a little embarrassed for him.
He gets a little excited at times.
And what did you say your name was?
My name is Bharrik. Bharrik Horog.
Well, Bharrik, why don't we get a drink in honor of your fallen friend?
Let's do it. We always go for a drink.
Like we all go up to the bar and order 3 drinks.
you see that that orange-haired half-elf, young-looking.
Sure. You want menus?
Take a mini.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
I have a couple more.
Sneak one.
Do we have any money?
There's no food.
You probably started
Oh,
with
that's right, we did that.
there isn't food. There's just nuts that are free. Remember? Bar nuts.
So when she hands the drink, she goes, "Can you tell me what time it is?"
A clock on the wall in this establishment?
No.
It's around midday.
Alright, so she hands the drinks to these two.
She would have ordered probably the only drink there, beer.
And the bartender says to you,
It was so cool. I saw King Doken. He made a portal, and you guys went through. It was like some kind of cool spell, and you guys have been gone for like I don't know, like a full day. What happened? What'd you guys do?
We explored the bog. We fought some things, fought some more things, watched a guy die.
Oh no, who died? There was only the two of you that went.
There was this dwarf there, and he was kind of she sees him out of the corner of his eyes. He was very brave.
Oh,
And he was definitely a person.
He lived at one time.
well, okay, well, since you guys were gone, Sir Isaac left, but, we did get some interesting rumors here at the Dawghouse that you guys might be interested in. Because didn't you guys say you came from Vigor Valley City before this?
Yes.
Well, there's some interesting things that we had heard and everyone's been talking about over the last day. There were some kind of undead creatures that attacked the city, killing tons of people in the city. Soldiers, the armorer got killed, the armorer's apprentice, he was a dwarf, he got killed, his slave got killed, and then one of the creatures, some kind of like woman with this crazy hair that would like wrap around and choke people, it disappeared into the residential district there, and they say every night it comes out and attacks peasants.
Oh, well, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, and then
What are the creatures?
I guess it was going to spawn things in the mist.
which question?
What was the undead creatures? Or were we there when that happened?
You only saw the woman with the maiden, the one that attacked on the tusk cart. You didn't see any other creatures.
Okay.
But you did hear all kinds of crazy noises in the room where your left trifle. You heard all kinds of noises.
A distinct chill crept into the room. A fine mist appeared on the floor and slowly began to rise. Micklin whispered to Vekni, "Marjorie, what is going on?" She said she didn't know and reached for her sword. Vekni's sword broke in the battle with the animated armors, and she found her scabbard was empty. Feeling sick from vomiting up the crow, Vekni unfurled her whip and took a fighting stance, unsure of what was happening. Vekni heard a sound that was familiar to her, a woman sobbing. The sound grew louder and closer. The chilling mist covered the entire room. "Come here! Help me! Come here!" The sound of the familiar frightened whisper filled the room. Then a demonic shriek. "Help me!" Through the mist in the corner of the room, the PCs observed the back of a woman, hunched over, cradling her knees. The woman had long black hair and appeared to be heavily sobbing. The woman rocked back and forth, trembling. Sorin summoned his owl familiar, Dexter, to appear, and commanded him to fly into the back room to touch Micklin and Vekni. He casted invisibility on Micklin and Vekni through his owl. Then he ran out the front door of the armorer's shop. Vekni peeked her head out of the back room and eyed the lit forge near the crouched, rocking woman. Vekni recalled the horrors she experienced with this creature aboard Tuskheart. Vekni knew if she didn't act quickly, she and all of her friends would die.
And if you remember on Tuskheart, when that woman came, she came with ghosts that were attacking and killing.
That's
And-
good. Glad we left her.
And I guess something happened with Mayor Shroud, the mayor of that city. They think he's dead or missing or something, and they're holding an election for a new mayor on Ilmater 22nd. Yeah, I think it's Salvatore they said, I don't know who that is, some assassin going up against someone named Galloway. I don't know who either of them are, but apparently the election is between those two people.
Fresh memory?
Yeah, which one was Galloway?
Galloway was the one that you wanted to be friends with, that you were trying to
The
SSD.
blood mist guy?
Yeah, you were always trying to SSD. And then Salvatore, he was
Salvatore's the assassin that we let live.
the only assassin you didn't kill.
And he ratted us out.
Yes.
Bitch. I guess that's interesting. Hopefully the whole city gets wiped out by these undead creatures.
No, Medicine Man, he doesn't like Vigor too much, but he doesn't believe in violence or he doesn't want anyone to die. He just wants everyone to be peaceful.
If that doesn't happen, it's not human nature.
Ain't that the truth?
Is there any other rumors?
Those are the only new rumors that we heard.
Anything out of Queen's Grace?
No, we haven't heard anything about Queen's Grace. Why?
Just have friends there.
Oh. Well, who do you know there?
You know, is this woman named Inez?
I think that's their leader, isn't it?
She's a queen.
Yeah, I've heard of her. I've heard she's a good person.
She seems that way.
I know Medicine Man's always worried about war between Inez and Chaos. I know it's something he always worries about. Because they don't like each other.
Well, I mean, isn't Chaos an invading group? Wait, which one's Chaos?
Chaos is the group with Blackwing, Rothschild.
Oh.
You haven't really met that many of them.
Are they the ones with the kids?
No.
That was Bloodmist.
You know that they're the Birdhaven ruins. You haven't been there.
Or Chaos is a small faction, no?
Yeah, they're small. They're smaller than Slay, but they're larger than us.
And I think it's a little difficult to get to you.
That's true.
I just have a feeling that Inez is probably bolstering her numbers.
They have drow there.
Don't remind me. They are disgusting.
Drow aren't even native to the lands of Dovah. I'm not even sure how they got here.
There's just no drow here naturally.
No, there's no drow normally in Dovah.
Huh.
None.
Interesting. Maybe Dovah isn't as bad as I thought. Do you know where, or have you seen a young pirate named Prince with a big greatsword on his back?
Yes, he was here.
Do you know where he went?
He actually made a whole big ruckus near the center of town. Shortly after he arrived, he attacked these pirates that were here. They're friends with the king, misfit bastards.
Mm-hmm.
And he fought the Minotaur, Rattleack. He's not a very nice. The Minotaur's not very nice. He doesn't tip. He doesn't pay. He's rude to people. But still, Medicine Man doesn't want fighting here in the Dawghouse. And this pirate attacked him for no reason. And
there was a reason.
Well, it was foolish because it didn't go well for the pirate. They kidnapped him. They beat him up. And they took him with them.
How long ago is this?
Oh, this was at least a week ago, if not longer.
And Token's still here?
Yep.
And did they say where they were going with the boy?
Cutthroat Stocks.
How far away is it?
Oh, that's far. It's closer to the capital than it is to here.
What's the capital?
Lauriston. You've never been there. You've heard of it. You've heard it mentioned.
Okay.
It's to the west of the capital.
She finishes her beer and slides the cup back to the bartender.
This is the bartender you're talking to.
I know.
Oh.
She takes it and she turns and walks over to King Doken's table.
Okay. Keith, you see a half-elf wearing a silk blue tunic and cape. He's adorned very lavishly. He's got a golden crown on his head. Gem-studded rings are on each one of his fingers, and he wears these fine black boots. He's a half-elf. He's sitting at a table in this bar that you guys are in. On one side of him, there's a dwarf, very greasy, dirty-looking, smelly. You could smell him even being a few feet away. And on the other side of this half-elf, both of these attendants are standing, by the way. You have the dwarf on the one side, and on the other side you see a young human wizard, dressed in a similar fashion as Sorin.
So, as a person who's never done this, I have no idea what to do.
Whatever you want.
So as we're walking over to the table, Vekni's gonna lean into Soren and be like, it's just weird to see a king in a seedy place like this.
You said to Sorin?
Yeah. And we'll go up to the table, and is there any seats available?
Yeah.
Vekni will sit down.
So Doken's there, right?
Hmm?
Soren's gonna pull out a pencil, and then he's gonna pull out his book. He's like, Doken, it's good to see you again. Can you do me a favor?
Sorin.
Can you sign here?
What is this?
Since when does Doken ask that?
Yeah, you're right.
Thanks.
Signs the ledger, hands it back to you.
Thanks. Appreciate
Doesn't even ask you what it was.
As he shouldn't.
Yeah. And actually, him initially asking, he wouldn't have done that.
Right.
Yeah.
I know he would have. That's why I just did it the way I did it.
Doken's thing is he doesn't read things, he just signs.
Never. Not once. It's like I got Dovah's name in the ledger.
Probably would have signed it anyway. Vekni sits down and she goes, we met your friend Marigold.
Oh, how'd that go?
Well, she killed the guy.
Yeah, she's pretty dangerous.
I can see why you like her.
She's got the...
She didn't kill anybody. What are you talking about?
Well, her minions.
Kevin and Brian did.
Her minions did.
Kevin and Brian killed them. We don't know. Yeah. I wouldn't say they're minions. The only thing that we know is that they were there, lost, and trapped inside the mansion. Is the only thing they told us.
Controlling zombies. Still say it's her minions.
Anyway.
Gragas hobbles over to where you guys are talking, and he says to you guys, "Hey, did you ask her about me?"
She said she did not remember who you were.
Oh. He just looks down, looks really sad, and he hobbles away.
Do you know or how you got us to the mansion? Could you be able to get us to a cutthroat's dock?
No, that's way too far. The mansion was only a couple miles away. Cutthroat's docks, that's nowhere near here.
I know, but I need to catch up with your buddy Radalek.
He goes, as powerful as I am, I can't take you all the way there. What do you need to see Radalak for anyway?
He has some things that belongs to me.
No, what is it?
One of my boys.
Okay.
He's one of my crew.
I mean, he's not really big on prisoners.
Well,
The only prisoner he has is that stupid pirate with the greatsword that attacked him.
How's that team?
Oh, you know him?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I heard you have a sordid history with him too.
I know his old captain. Well, I know of him.
You was the ones that started the mutiny.
Well, wasn't doing what I wanted, so I had Sir Duncan organize his captain to get overthrown. Typical. Not really a big deal.
I mean, it is a big deal if you care about the person.
I don't care about him.
Well, he did.
It sucks.
It is what it is.
He should have listened to me and it wouldn't have happened.
I mean, he's a pirate. He's not part of your navy. If you have one.
Ferelden has a modest navy. But now I have the misfit bastards kind of do what I asked them to do as long as I reward them.
They are 2-bit pirates.
Well, if you say so.
I do. How is they still pirates? They lost their ship.
I heard they defeated the Maronian Armada on the seas.
Where?
It was south of the Fringe.
Where's the French?
Where you are.
Oh.
The region of Dovah.
That wasn't some misfit bastards.
What do you mean?
That was the Golden Tusks.
That's not what Radalak said.
Of course it's not. Did he also tell you that he lost his ship to the Golden Tusk?
What do you mean? He doesn't have a ship anymore?
No.
He mentioned that.
Of course he didn't. He's probably embarrassed. He ran like a little chicken girl.
That doesn't sound like Radalak.
Oh, well, it was. He thought that it would be wise to attack the Tuskart and 100 sheep by himself.
And how'd that go?
He lost his sheep. So, not so well.
You know, I do remember him having a bigger crew, more officers than what came here.
Yes, I think, how many we killed? 3?
I think you go 5.
Yeah, well, that boy had ambition, and who am I not to help? We took out 5 of them.
You're talking about the boy that he captured?
Yes.
Who was your friend here? I don't believe I've met this one before.
This is your stepson, Sorin.
No, point to start with him.
Neither boy.
Well, he kind of just walked in and said his name is Bharrik.
Offered to help us. Not quite sure why.
That's generous of you, Bharrik.
I was searching for my family friend's son, and I was told he died. So now
The search is off.
the search is off. Yeah. So I got some free time on my hands, so I made it back home.
Where are you from?
I'm from Stoneview, over in the mountains.
Oh, Stoneview, that's part of the Ironbridge Kingdom, no? The neutral kingdom that's
Yes.
within Clad?
Is that on this map?
No.
Nice.
Huh?
Way to commit. So now I
That
am.
was made before the kingdom existed.
Well, probably would have been easier to say he's in the Comet Mountains, no?
It's near Common Mountains. Yeah.
We're gonna say it's over here.
To the west. The Common Mountains to the west.
So now, before I make it back home, I'm gonna join these two for some adventures.
Oh. Sounds like fun. I used to go on adventures when I was younger.
Where would you like to go on an adventure now?
I saved the whole continent. Would you believe that?
Whole continent, huh?
There was this vampire that was trying to conquer Dawghouse. Have you heard of Dawghouse?
Have I?
Yes.
Yes.
It's like it's a different continent. It's like
Days.
this is Europe. Thaddeus is America.
He lives in Europe. Would you know about America?
Probably not.
Sure.
Well, not in, I guess not in medieval times.
I mean, if he was in a kingdom that's like isolated and they don't go on ships and sail around the world, he might not know.
Live in the woods, in the mountains.
He might not know.
Is it a mining mountain?
It is.
That's mine. What do you got in mine?
Stone.
Oh, cool.
Nice talking to you.
Special rocks.
Special rocks.
Some that glimmer.
Import, export.
This vampire tried to take over the entire continent, and I defeated him. Single combat. I saved everyone. They made me king of Ferelden, which was the greatest kingdom in Dawghouse.
What he says is true. I personally vouch for it.
Impressive.
It is.
Thank you.
Almost too good to be true.
Almost.
Almost.
There was no lineage of Swiftwaters before me, but because of my great service to the kingdom, the people, they rose up and they decided to crown me king because of what I did.
Must be very proud of yourself.
I'm very proud of myself. But I will say this, I'm not without honor, and I do appreciate my allies, because those that died in battle trying to save the kingdom alongside me, I had statues erected to honor them in my city.
Honor is the way to go.
Now, I met this beautiful woman, short time later, a peasant, and I wiped her up, married her, and she rules the kingdom with me. Her name is Genlia Avicine. She's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. A human.
Human, huh? Haven't seen a human in a while.
Someone's a human.
Yeah, besides, I haven't seen many.
Do you want to go shopping?
Yeah, so we'll head back to that place. You want to come with us?
Let's go.
I assume you have all basic stuff, or did Dan give you some cursed weapon again?
I have all basic stuff.
I didn't give him anything. He finished his character like an hour ago.
What is this? Axe something special? Oh, is that the one that did the...
Don't you have that now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one that did the extra if you crit it or something?
You have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember what it does.
Yeah,
I can't
basically.
use it anyway.
Give it back to him in his brother's home.
Fuck no.
Well, not yet.
I'll sell it. I'll pawn that
Only one
shit.
shop, so.
Here's 10 gold pieces. What's your armor right now? What did you get?
Same with 18. Chainmail.
It's chainmail?
Yeah.
So you walk in, Bharrik, and you see a human behind the counter in this shop. And there's weapons and armor on the walls. He's bald, like middle-aged, and he's chewing on some kind of like leafy, green leafy vegetation.
What was his name?
Norsk Berserker.
Yeah,
and you went on a date with him.
I know.
Yeah, right.
I just couldn't remember his name.
Yeah, are you doing a second date?
I never guaranteed anything. But if it gets me free stuff. Huh?
Nothing for free.
I got free meal. I didn't even kiss
28 of 50 charges.
Oh, we could do that. Want to make it instead of 28? Want to make it 8, and then it could be that spell.
Can I meet you in the middle and make it half of 28?
14. Sure.
Okay. Shoot that then.
But no, but it doesn't recharge. Right.
No, this says 40. I'll buy it. How much was it?
Just 25.20.
No.
Not very expensive. It's very cheap.
What are you buying?
2,520.
Yeah, very cheap.
What are you buying?
So the spell that I casted, the Summer Demons, Summon Lesson Demons, he's going to make that wand, that spell, but instead of 28 charges, it has 14 charges. So I can cast it 14 times for free.
Jesus Christ.
So paid.
For cheap too.
That's very cheap.
Vekni will walk in and be like,
So you bought it?
Yeah.
Okay.
she'll be like, hello my dear.
Make sure you take that gold off.
Yeah, I already did.
As she walks in, she goes, hello my dear.
Vekni, I've been hoping I'd see you again. Hi.
How's business?
Well, honestly, since you guys were here last time, I haven't had a customer.
Well, I guess it's not good.
I keep lowering my prices to the point where they're ridiculously low, and I can't get anybody to bite.
Is
I
that,
gotta make a living.
is that the canon reason why everything's stupidly low now?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Or maybe you need some new material.
I mean, I've got this awesome nunchucks nobody wants. I have this awesome magic shield that nobody wants.
Yeah, and you know, shields don't really...
Isn't the shield just
Plus two
plus
shield.
2 shield?
That's really good.
That's really
That's
powerful.
really good.
Isn't that what they are already?
No.
Yeah, a shield is +2, so that would be a +4.
Yes.
So you would have a 20.
It's like really good.
20.
And really cheap.
We're good at 20.
Here is
Your AC can go over 20.
Right, but I'm 18 right now with my shield.
Yeah, and if you bought that shield, you would have...
So I would drop my
22.
current shield, I'd be down to 16.
Yeah, but then
the new shield, I'm 14.
okay. I got you.
yeah, this new one. Yeah, there's the 20.
I've got these materials where I can augment a longsword and make it really powerful and give it special properties. I have all this awesome stuff. I've got these cool scrolls, these cool potions.
Trogdor's longsword.
I got this manual that makes it that if you read it and studied it, you become a lot stronger. All this cool stuff, but I just can't sell the stuff. I keep having to lower the prices.
With the...
Who wants to buy me a shield?
My shield's good.
6170?
Nope, don't know you. Well, I mean, you made a pretty penny on the last time you were here.
Yeah.
So, how much for this? And she pulls the battle axe out and puts it down on the counter.
Bharrik cringes inside. Boss is fat.
So he's gonna look at it. Have you tested this in battle? I'm not really too sure. It seems like it's magical in some kind. I'd have to like look into it to see how.
I mean,
what it does.
I personally have not tested it, but I've seen it. Indeed, it causes these grievous wounds that I've never seen a weapon do on its own.
That's pretty cool. How about what is it? 1,500 gold.
Just a lot more. It's worth at least 10.
What?
It's worth at least 10.
I mean, you would know the worth. She leans in, and she gives you like a nice cute little look in her eyes. She goes, "How about I make a trade with you? I'll trade you the axe for the short bow."
No short bow.
The +1 short bow.
No, I can give you 1,500 gold off.
Can I sell him my chainmail and chain shirt?
Yeah.
Do you buy normal weapons?
Yeah.
She'll take off the longsword off her belt and put it on the counter.
Chainmail 75 and the chain shirt's 50. What's 125 GP?
Well, we watch porn, so she's gonna make a profit.
The problem with this stuff, like this is good stuff, but it's gonna take up some space on my shelf.
I call an expert in.
And I call an expert in to see exactly what the properties are of these magic items, and then I gotta actually sell them. I could be sitting on this stuff for a week, a month, a year, 10 years, I don't know. How about I give you, for everything, I'll do a special deal for you. For everything, I'll give you, I can give you 1,750 gold, or I'll give you 2,000 off an item. I think it's pretty generous.
How much was the shield?
6170.
What is that?
It's small. What is it? A buckler? It's just small.
It's still gonna have the stats though.
I'm just asking for aesthetics.
It's very small. It's a very small shield.
So it's like a buckler.
It's
which just covers your
circular.
hand?
Yeah, exactly. So you have to wrap it around your hand. It's like a circular small shield.
Does that still give use of a two-hand weapon?
Yeah, does that give him a free hand?
No, no, it still takes up a hand. So you wouldn't be able to wield the two-handed weapon with it.
Okay. So it's like Captain America's shield, but he's gonna like hold a thing or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, I guess we could do 2,000.
Okay, that'd be 2,000 off an item. Not 2,000. If you want gold in your hand, I'll give you 1,750.
Right. So I'm gonna remove both of these so that I have my inventory.
Sure. The chain shirt and the chain mail.
Yeah.
I think you've had those for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like my starting stuff.
Okay, sure.
Ooh, I have Mandred's gun.
You do.
Never try to sell that?
Yeah, I've never used it.
And he said he can't do the sword augmentation on anything else.
It would just be for a longsword. Those are the specific materials he has.
Why can't your character use a longsword? Why can't your character use a longsword?
Because my strength is too low. I can use it, but I don't get any bonus. Like with a short sword, since it's a light weapon, I can add my dex to it, and my dex is +5.
Okay.
Are you free for dinner tonight? Dude, all they have is peanuts at the bar. She's trying to get a free meal.
I can make time for you.
I would love to have dinner with you again. And she leans in.
Well, this is gonna sound a little off-putting, I think, but I did make plans already tonight with my friend Fenris. Would you mind?
Do we know who Fenris is?
You've never met a Fenris. My friend Fenris, if you don't mind, I'd be happy to cook for you again, as long as you don't mind spending time with him as well. I did promise. He gets really touchy and upset.
What how about this? I bring my friends.
That's fine. I could cook for all
I'll
of you.
pick up some beer from the inn and bring it over.
What time do you want to meet?
When do you get off?
Well, I own the shop. But normally
Is he trying to flex?
I am very independent, and I am a business owner, so I just want to throw that out there. But usually I keep my shop open till 5. So
So 7?
yeah, give me some time to cook and everything. Yeah, should be fun.
So then I can't wait to see you later. But as to business, is there anything that you're looking at, Sorin?
Well, we're getting a $2,000 discount on something, right?
Yeah, you already bought your wand, though, right? Maybe I'll just take that for the bow, the +1 bow.
Well, I was gonna get him a shield.
No, fuck him. You don't know him.
That shield is pretty awesome.
It is very strong.
It'll help me in your protection along the ways.
Oh shit.
And you guys both still have shitloads of gold, right?
The oil of greater
which
magic weapon, so it just makes a weapon magic and gives it a +1.
Hold on, what are you looking at?
Oil of greater magic weapon.
The oil can coat one weapon or 5 pieces of ammunition. Applying the coat takes 1 minute. The coat lasts for 1 hour, except for the effects on ammunition is removed.
1 hour? Oh, so then it would less.
That's terrible. That's
So that
terribly expensive.
But it
I
is
like
a
your
+1. It is a +1. So we'll do.
For an
So
hour.
it'll do that. Lasts for an hour, but it also adds a +1 modifier to the weapon.
Are you able to identify items?
Yeah, I can.
So she pulls out the broom that we got from Marigold's. She goes, I think there's something about this broom.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take a look at it.
Nice, thank you.
Sure.
Bats her eyelashes.
When
Just trying to be super flirty.
when we meet up again, it's gonna take me some time. So when we meet up at 7, I can tell you everything this room does.
I'm the expert in.
I can tell you though, just having it in my hands, I am pretty experienced at doing this kinds of stuff. It doesn't appear to be magical. I can just tell you right now, it doesn't appear to be.
Alright, well, in that case, I'll take it back.
Okay.
I know another guys that can do it.
Okay.
Let's see, what else I got? Oh, and she pulls out Nicholas's scimitar.
Okay.
She goes, does he say anything? Is this of value to you?
That's the cursed one, right?
It's +1.
Pokes and prods around with it. He goes, yeah, this is... It does have value, but I'll be honest with you. And he kind of sets it aside. He says, something like this has an ominous nature to it, and I'd rather not have it in my shop or in this town at all, to be honest.
Okay, I'll take it.
It is worth something. It just I don't feel comfortable having something like that in my shop.
Oh, can we just say that I grabbed Ignis after the fight because I left before the fight was over?
Yeah, it's fine.
I'll take the 2,000 discount and buy that shield for him.
So you can give me whatever that remainder is.
How much was it originally?
6170.
So now it's...
Wait a minute. You're gonna use my discount on him?
So 4170.
I was going to use it on me. It is my axe.
And it was also my chainmail and chain shirt.
And it was my sword.
And you did save Vekni in that battle where she got the axe.
Yeah, but I've saved you so many times I can't count.
Perhaps it is not a time to be selfish and it's time to think of others.
No, it's always a time to be selfish.
We're going to buy him the shield.
No, I'm going to take the short bow.
I don't consent.
Okay, so then I'll take my 1700 for the short bow and the sword and axe.
So he's looking back and forth to both of you, and he's like, "You guys need to make a decision amongst yourselves."
I'll roll a persuasion.
I don't consent.
Not on him, on the guy.
Oh,
Can't stop that.
all right.
I'll roll a persuasion by doing this.
We'll do this. We'll do this. You're not rolling against each other.
Mm-hmm.
You're both gonna roll against Norsk, and whoever rolls higher.
Can I have advantage because I'm pretty?
You're going to give him advantage? You can give him advantage, it's fine.
Yeah, he's just gonna use his port and I'm gonna lose anyway.
You can use it. You can get advantage.
It doesn't matter. I lost it. Oh wait, I don't consent to his portent.
Who said anything about making it yours?
What?
My portent wasn't it too.
What? You said it was a 2.
I didn't check.
Oh, look at how convenient that is.
Take a look.
Yeah, you could have just changed that. I wasn't looking.
Well, it's right there.
Do you automatically lose? No, right?
If you portents, then it's low.
But I can make mine.
You can't portent him.
No, but I can change myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can make yourself high. You can't make him low. So
Yeah,
couldn't he?
Bless.
Couldn't he conceivably beat you?
This is a shield for you, right?
Are you gonna roll Kevin or not?
Want to give me a D4?
He can't portent you. He can only portent himself.
Yeah. Want to give me a D4?
I can give you a D4.
Sure.
Can I have a D4?
Nope.
It's not your spell.
It's a shield for him.
It's not your spell.
It's not your axe.
It's not yours either. I found it.
Remember, this is how alliances are made. This is Sorin's thing. Excellent.
What we got?
I rolled poorly. 13.
13.
Oh, I have one.
You used your portent.
Yeah, it's a 12 plus 4.
Okay. Alright, so the money comes off of Bharrik's shield.
I have a longbow, it's better anyway.
How much was it?
Wait, a short bow is a D6. Never mind, I wouldn't want the short bow.
You're not buying it?
No.
Oh,
Never mind. That didn't need to happen. A short bow's worse than a longbow.
but it's a +1.
But it's +2.
It's a $2,000 discount, right?
2,000. So you'd be paying 41, whatever.
$41.70.
Now, how much
gold do you guys have left each?
I have 17,000.
Jesus Christ! What do you have after this?
After this, I'll tell you 1 second. Let me remove this.
I have 10.
I have 21,152.
Jesus!
So that's my money back.
You could still buy anything. You could still buy out his whole shop if you wanted to. I think.
Listen, the rich don't stay rich by spending all their money.
Well, every time you guys are finding shops, they're having a lot of awesome, expensive stuff. So
The only thing I want is the
So
tone of
before,
understanding
before,
that I can't
before
afford.
you take your shield, what's the shield made out of? Like
steel.
Steel? The whole thing?
Yeah, most shields are.
The one I have is wood, I think.
There's paint on
Wood
it.
or metal.
There's paint on it.
There's paint on it?
There's a faded sigil of
A burning tube.
no, so it's painted light blue, and it's got that crown painting that's for Clad and for the Lorien dynasty. It's got that sigil painted on it.
Clad in Lorien Dynasty?
Yeah, the light blue with the.
What was that?
Why are you rolling your eyes?
Can we
They
read that?
ruled the country for decades or centuries.
Yeah, millennia, I think.
But if we see anybody who doesn't like them, that's got this problem.
Can we paint over it?
It's small.
Sure.
You could probably hide it too.
Before I gave it a shield, I was gonna write my own thing in it. I did buy it from him after all.
What are you gonna do?
I was gonna write my own thing in it before I gave it to him.
You're gonna write your own thing.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Here lies Trogdor. Here's a person.
You're gonna paint it?
I was gonna do something to it before I gave it to him.
If you have materials to do that,
That's what I'm
go ahead and do
right
it.
now. I have an ink pen.
Go ahead. Writing ink on the steel shield.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll work.
Well, that's why I asked what other material.
I don't think a
Like
pen
there's
would work.
got to be some kind of leather strapping in it, right? It's not the whole thing shield or steel.
Studded leather is the strap where you would hold it. Yes.
Yeah, so I can write into the leather.
You could. I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have an ink pen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take. So it's paint on the front of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll light a torch, I guess.
Okay.
And try to like melt the paint off, burn it off.
So the paint that's left is faded and cracking already. So if you wanted to remove the paint, you would be able to
With the torch.
with the torch. Yes. If you use the torch and maybe like a dagger or something, you would scrape the paint off.
I have a dagger too.
So
Yeah,
you could do that.
So, so I'll do that.
Take probably 20 minutes.
Sure. I'll do that. Okay. Scrape it all off. It'll even kind of like give it like this like burnt kind of like look on top of the shield now too.
Okay.
You know. And then on the inside of it, I'll take my ink pen and onto the leather, it'll say.
This shield belongs to Sorin's bitch.
I'll draw my own sigil. I'll put the
Ferelden Rose?
the Ferelden Rose in it, and then like on the other strap, I'll just write like remember who gave this to you. Okay. It's my shield. I bought it.
You could, yeah.
Yeah. And then I'll give it to Bharrik.
Derek!
How do you spell your character's name again?
Bharrik.
Bharrik.
I'll take a oil of greater magic weapon.
750.
Vekni will, after she gets the oil, she put it in her bag, and she goes, "Do you have like a little metal box or something?"
Yeah, I can just give you something like that for free. You guys spend a lot of money here. Just give me a second. And he goes the back room, comes back out in a second. Hands you this metal container.
She'll put that stupid doll in it to try to protect it because apparently it hurts me.
Any damage on the doll is done to you.
Of course.
There's always a catch.
Yeah.
You're dealing with a witch. Is she? What do you expect?
What do you expect?
You have to accept it.
Of course not.
Just let her keep it.
What do you expect?
So she'll take the doll out, put it in a box, and she'll push herself up on the counter and kiss him on the cheek and be like, "I'll see you later."
He blushes. He goes, "I can't wait to see you later, Vekni." And just do me a favor. Try to be a little accepting of Fenris. He's a little weird.
Who's this Fenris guy?
She just goes like this and points at Sorin. Yeah.
Yeah, he's eccentric as well. Yeah, Fenris is
Who, me?
Fenris is my good friend. He's close with Pink Mango as well. You can kind of say that he's really her best friend. And he's just kind of a weird personality. He's not big on the eye contact.
Autistic.
I don't know what that is, but
He's a saint.
But he's a good man. He's loyal to dogs and medicine man.
Most children who think that they're transgender are autistic.
I don't know what transgender is.
You've been watching too much Matt Walsh.
What is transgender? I don't know what that is.
It's the worst.
Okay. Is it like the Fury Lords? Are they transgender?
Probably. I mean, unless they start committing suicide.
What?
Yeah. Lots of them commit suicide.
Fury Lords? I only know the 3.
Those Chinese.
What?
It's an epidemic. Millions a day are killing themselves.
Millions of people? There are millions of people in the world.
Listen, it's just
Not
what the
anymore,
left.
because of
It's what the left believes since the dawn of time.
You're very strange, but I look forward to our date, Vekni.
I mean, it's not really a date if you have some people there.
Are you bringing your friend?
But we will hang out.
I think it's important that you meet my good friend, and I spend some time meeting your friends as well.
I mean, we only had one date. Don't you want to slow down a little bit?
Do you feel like it's moving too fast for you?
No, I'm just asking you.
I have no problems introducing you to my friend. I'd like to meet yours. I'll introduce you to my family, but I don't have a family. It's just me.
Yeah, that makes two of us. So we'll see you later.
See you.
Alright. So as we're walking down the street, Vekni's gonna lean in the store and go, so I think tonight we can see some bastard drunk and so we rob his store.
We'll see where the night takes us.
Because I really need that book.
Which book?
The Tome of Learning or something like that.
You want to boost your wisdom +2?
Figure something out. See where the night takes us. Have a little smoke, have a little drink.
I don't know about the smoke, it was weird and then I'd rather just drink. So we'll go back to the tavern. What else was in this town? It was the tavern,
There wasn't a lot
the
of things
store,
here.
and then the dog guys.
There was a man with a white suit and a white fedora that was kind of standing at the center of the town. The lady. There was
Does he have a neck beard?
no, clean shaven.
Amateur.
There is Medicine Man's quarters. You were in there. I think you were everywhere. There was a community outhouse where, if you remember, you went into the outhouse and you found a hidden path that led you all the way to Sir's Tavern.
Mm-hmm.
There was a deluxe shop and smithy. There was a cannabis caffeine inn, and there was a Dawghouse jail. The jail you might not have been in.
A deluxe what?
I feel like we went to the jail.
You might have. The deluxe shop and smithy is where you just were.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you were everywhere. Maybe not the jail, maybe.
I think we went to the jail and there was nobody in it.
You may have. Yeah. I mean, there was no one in there. So, if you knew that, then you probably were there. That's it. There's nothing else. It's midday. We'll say since you asked, it's been about 2 hours. It's about 2 p.m. right now.
We get back to the bar or inn or whatever,
Okay, that's where we are. All right.
and it's probably what, like 1?
2. It's 2.
It's 2. Okay. Order a drink.
Sure. Autumn brings it out to you.
So Sorin, you don't think that your stepdaddy is sleeping with that the bodacious woman down there?
He told me he isn't.
She's currently sitting on his lap.
Oh, he told me that he isn't. And Doken's word is law.
I mean, he's in Rowan for Eldin and we are not there.
Did I describe her to you, Keith?
He
this girl?
said that he
He did
isn't.
earlier today.
And as such, I believe him.
I'm going to use my amulet of thoughts to see if he actually believes. No, I'm just kidding. I can't use it on him.
I can send.
Okay.
I use one charge of my amulet of thoughts to see if what he's actually thinking.
What are you thinking?
I can't wait to tell my mom.
Fucking cheat, son of a bitch. Vekni laughs at that. Like, she snickers a little bit. She goes, "Of course he's not sleeping with her. She's not beautiful with giant titties and a big voluptuous booty." So Vekni will take her drink and go over to Doken's table, and she'll sit down, and she'll look at the orc and be like, "You have any more money to lose?"
You cleaned me out last time. That's all I had.
What is this, a shame? Got a few hours to kill.
What do you have in mind?
Huh?
What do you have in mind? Want to spar in the courtyard or something, or?
I could always go for a spar.
If you
Weapons
want.
or hand to hand?
I'm not really a hand-to-hand fighter.
I don't have my sword.
I guess we're in an impasse.
Yeah, well, That's fine. I heard the dog man or the medicine man doesn't like fighting. Yeah.
No, he's not. He doesn't
Also,
like
I'm at 8 HP.
Alright, well, rest a little bit, relax.
I'm gonna take a short rest while we're here.
It's midday.
Yeah. You can't take too long rest.
The medicine man's a good man. He's worth following. Have you guys thought about well, I guess you're there, right? Have you thought about maybe taking up residence here? We could always use more good people.
Well, you do not belong to the king?
What king? There's no king in Dovah.
No, it's a dog in here. I thought that you were part of his crew.
What? No. I'm a dog through and through. And he
No, you look like an orc.
he grabs his breastplate and he just like pulls it out a little bit, and you notice that there's the dog's marijuana leaf sigil on the chest of his breastplate.
Speaking of sigils, do you know anything of this? And Sorin will take out a piece of parchment and use his ink pen, and then he'll draw that sigil he saw in his mind that Marigold showed him.
It's mental. No one else can see it.
No, he drew it.
I drew it on a piece of paper.
How are you presenting it?
On a piece of paper.
On a piece of paper.
You're holding it out?
Yeah, I drew it. I'm gonna ask him if he knows anything of this.
What's your passive perception?
My passive
Mine's
perception?
17.
It's specific for him.
15.
Why, I'm standing right there.
It has nothing to do with you. Pure blood, the orc. He looks at it. No, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know anything about that. Never seen it before. But you notice that in your peripheral vision, out of the corner of your eye, you notice that that guy wearing the brown cloak that was sitting off by himself, that you also saw Morgan's Tavern never spoke to.
Yeah.
You see him looking directly at that drawing you made, and his eyes are like, and you see him like taking these deep breaths, like.
So when Sorin kind of like catches it, he'll look over quick.
And when he sees you look at him, he looks down like that.
So Sorin already noticed, so he'll walk over. And he's gonna. So he's sitting at the bar.
No, he's sitting at the table by himself. So he saw you do that.
Are there like nuts on the table, like in the middle? So Sorin kind of like walk behind him. And he's gonna take that piece of paper and kind of just put it down in front of him. And then he's gonna get to the other side and take a seat and grab a handful of nuts.
He takes his hand and he puts his hand on the side of the bowl of nuts. He slides the bowl of nuts over where your paper is. Like this. Right. Slides the bowl of nuts over so it's on the paper. And you see him very quickly, with a lot of urgency, moves the bowl over, grabs the paper and the nuts, and throws the paper and nuts on the floor all at once. And he goes, "Oops, I'm sorry." And then he dives on the floor and starts picking the nuts up and putting them back in the bowl. Puts the bowl back and the paper's gone. And he sits back down.
So are you gonna tell me what you know, or are you gonna make me have to converse it out of you?
He's looking around all shiftily. He's not looking you in the eyes, and he goes, "You shouldn't show that where everyone could see. Just be cool, man. Be cool. Don't just bust that out in front of everybody."
What does it mean?
So you see him like scanning the room to see if anyone's paying attention. And he goes, "Do you have more paper?
Do.
Can I have a piece?" He's like shaking, like you see he's got this cloak on, he's sweating, and he's writing. He hands it over to you real quick. Goes, "Just put it in your pocket, we'll get it later."
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. Sorin will do just that.
I don't want to be seen here with you. I'm leaving. If you want to meet up with me later, I'll be at Norsk's house. I'm meeting him for dinner.
Who?
He says Norsk. I'll be at Norsk's house. I'm meeting him for dinner. He stands up and he briskly walks out of the bar.
Okay.
You see, actually, moisture from beads of sweat from him that fell on the table in the brief time you were there.
I'm gonna walk over. I'm gonna sit down, see the sweat. Like, what was that all about?
I'm not sure, but he's very scared about that drawing. That sigil. He gave me this. Aren't there two orders that are called the orders? There's the Order of the Burning Fist, and isn't there another, the Order?
You've heard of another order before.
Called the Order.
It had a name, more so than that.
What was the name? I don't remember.
I'm not positive if you were told the actual name.
Well, obviously
you did speak about this order in depth at Lorgan's Tavern with Morio and his father Vithori.
Next, Vekni and Sorin spoke with the man in purple armor, sitting by himself. She learned his name was Vithori, and he was following his son, Morio, around, who was not aware he was there. Vithori explained he had attacked Morio's leader, the Master, and he did not believe his son would forgive him. Vithori spoke of how he brought Morio to the Master as a young boy, who then trained and indoctrinated him. He explained the Master and his friends aimed to control Cortania, the material plane that they are all on. She left Vithori's table and returned to the Table of Lions. Vekni spoke with Morio once again, revealing she knew his true name and who he really served. Morio disclosed the Master and his fellow Order members dispatched agents all over Cortania to influence the state of the world. He explained that was his purpose here in Dovah, and his purpose in service of Lions. Morio said a person called Maki betrayed the order that the Master belonged to. He was sent to Dovah to guide the powers that be into ensuring Maki falls. Vekni and Sorin spoke with Morio at length about bonds, blood, and duty. Sorin eventually casted suggestion on Morio, successfully forcing him to try and make amends with his father, Vithori. Vekni brought Morio over to Vithori's table, reuniting them and beginning the process of healing old wounds.
I don't remember. Roll history. DC's 12.
Do remember. Okay.
Just remember it has something to do with Morio and Vithori.
That's a 10 with a +7. That's bad.
Yeah. Just remember that Vithori and Morio talked about an order, and it had to do with why they were at Lorgan's Tavern, but you don't remember exactly what they were saying.
Yeah. Alright. So if you like, you can go there with me tonight.
So the guy that he said he was going to later on, was that the shopkeeper or the...
Hey, Sorin. Norse is the shopkeeper.
Oh.
So that's probably his real friend.
Oh. Well, then we'll have something to talk to over dinner.
I'm gonna take a short rest.
Sure.
Take a long rest.
We don't have time.
If you're gonna meet
Going
at
to
7.
take a long rest.
Okay.
Well, in that case, I'll take a long rest. I only need 4 hours. I have time.
Okay.
Said it was 2 o'clock.
So in 8 hours will be 10, and he's meeting you at 7.
Yeah. We'll give you the opportunity to talk a little bit. You read the note too. It's all you, bud.
So while they're resting, is there anything you want to do, Bharrik? You have free reign in the town.
Free reign.
Go wherever you want. You want me to tell you the areas again?
Yeah, but we said we've been, or they have been everywhere, correct?
Yes, they have been. They have been everywhere.
We are mine.
There wasn't a lot of places in this town. There was a man with a white fedora and a white suit near the center of the town. There's Medicine Man's quarters. There's a community outhouse. There's a deluxe shop and smithy, cannabis cafe and inn, which is where you are, and a doghouse jail.
The deluxe shop is where we came from.
I would say the only really other place for you to go was probably the Medicine Man's quarters.
Alright, I'll go take a walk to the Medicine Man quarters.
This is like the largest building that's in this. So this whole town, I don't know if you remember, this whole town, the Dawghouse.
Was he here?
He was here, but he wasn't playing. So this whole town is in a cavern. It's like the secret underground town in caves. This building, this Medicine Man's cavern, is the largest structure in this cavern. You open the door, you walk in, and you could detect that the air is thick with this sweet-smelling smoke, skunky, sweet-smelling smoke.
Hey.
It's marijuana smell. It fills your nostrils and enters your lungs. It's thick, it's palpable. You see bookcases teeming with old tomes, which I believe Sorin took all the books that were like of note. And these bookcases are lining all walls of this giant room. You see an old human, heavily wrinkled, covered in this comically long gray hair coming down like his beard, coming out his ears, coming out his nose. He's bald on his head. He's wearing green pajamas and yellow sandals, and he's sitting in this wooden wicker chair at the far end of the room. He holds a wooden walking staff in one hand.
Alright, we'll go up to him and
Fight him.
punch him square in the face. What was the guy? Have you seen a guy with a brown cloak run by?
What, man? I've been in here the whole time. Cheer and beer.
Smoking joke.
You have
Smoking joke. Token joke. Smoking joke.
Can I join you for a drink?
Yeah, man. Here, have a seat. And he pats the floor next to him.
So sit down with him. Take a drink. And yeah, my friends are resting, so I'm exploring the area. Can you tell me about yourself?
I'm a connoisseur in knowledge. I've accumulated all these books over my time. When I was younger, I trained martial arts. I trained in all kinds of stuff like peace, and I trained in being one with yourself. And I don't know, man. I had too much of the wars and politics out in the world. I decided to just do my own thing, and I settled here. And other people came to follow me. We're just trying to do our own thing, be away from everybody else, and just be peaceful. But trouble, man, keeps coming to find you. No matter where you go, it seems like, you know. What's your story?
I was a guard, and was sent out to find a family's friend's son who has passed in battle.
What happened?
Details are a little blurry. My friends that I've met don't tell me much except that he was a person. And so now I'm going to join them and walk around. But is there
You get
anything?
yourself in all kinds of trouble, I bet.
Seems that way. Is there anything you could teach me?
Teach you? I've been trying to stay out of stuff. I don't know. I was part of this group for a really, really long time. And there was like a coup in the leadership, and I left. And I think they're still angry at me for leaving. I can teach you the way of peace if you want to learn about how to be peaceful. Are you interested in anything like that, dude?
Who's the what?
Who's the group you left?
What group did you leave?
I would tell you, but honestly, you knowing about this stuff, it would just put you in danger, man. I don't even want you to know. They were serious dudes.
My life's already been full of danger. What's another thing
Grabs
added
a
on
pipe,
top of that?
takes it. Want to hit this real quick?
I'll take a hit. Take it. Take a good puff.
Roll a Constitution save. Your DC is 10.
Constitution save.
So you roll d20 dice, and then you add your Constitution modifier.
4, and that sucks.
You high as
So,
And then my modifier is +4.
so we're gonna say for the next hour, I want you to role play as though your character is high.
Fair enough.
Just kidding.
Yeah, we don't do edibles down here.
Yeah, I don't got any. Actually, I don't. No.
Man, what was?
You're making faces like you don't believe us.
I believe you. That's
You're
why
making faces like it's not legal in Jersey.
it's legal. It's just
It's legal.
it's fine.
It's legal.
Joe waited till it was legal.
I did.
Jeez, oof. What's in this? Oh, feel kind of.
It's just a special herb, man. That's all. Special herb, you know. It's good. Makes you feel good. Makes you relax. Open up your mind and stuff. You know.
Feel
Know what I mean, man?
fantastic.
Smoking good.
Smoke and joke.
It's hard to think right now.
That's right, man. So check it out. You asked me if I could teach you anything, right?
I did. I think.
All right. So this is what I can do for you. I can teach you how to hit harder. I can teach you. Well, I can help you stick it out longer in a fight. I can make you better with magic, or I can make you faster. Any one of those things. What do you want?
I want to hit harder.
You want to hit harder? Okay. Come closer.
Slide forward, giggling a little bit, falling off my chair.
Come closer.
Kiss him.
It's get kind of warm in here. Lean in a little more.
A little closer now.
I start doing a dance with you. Put my ear up towards you.
And he whispers in your ear. You know, they say chaos is about balance. They say that Frank is about pride. And they say that Slay is about justice. Well, Hainsworth of Chaos and Inez of Slay, they are on the brink of war. If you can bring peace between the two factions, I'll make it so you can hit harder. I'll show you the way.
I slowly lean back.
And he gives you a kiss on your forehead.
Man, I don't know what the fuck you just said. It touched me.
Just bring peace between Slay and Chaos, that's all.
How would I bring peace between them?
That's up to you to find out. And that'll help you with your inner self to be a better person, to be a full, true person. You know how many lives you know how many lives you could save if you prevent this war?
So I kind of snap it a little bit there. It's like, how do we always want to save people?
And then stop the war. Bring peace between the two.
Kind of sit back in my chair, rock back and forth a little bit. Like, think about what I took before and those words. I'm like, alright. Appreciate it. But I need to stumble back and find my friends.
If you're looking for Slay, you'll find them in Queen's Grace. And if you're looking for Chaos, you'll find them in the Birdhaven ruins. Alright, man? So he slaps you on the knee.
Giggle a little bit. Alright, so I get up and I feel a little dry in the mouth and I go to the, make my way back to the bar.
Okay. We'll say you were in there for a good 2 hours. It's 4 o'clock. 4:30.
Where's everyone else still?
They're long resting. You can wait for them to be ready.
Yeah, you can just just say your character's sticking around until
Yeah.
dinner.
Or you go do something else.
I don't know what to do.
Did you figure out who his secret people were that he got kicked out of?
Can you really ask? You kind of dropped it. So, at 7, Vekni's long rest is over.
6.
At 6, Vekni's long rest is over.
Okay. I'll head downstairs.
Okay.
Oh, we have the same room, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so Vekni's gonna go over to Sorin's bed and start shaking the bed. Like, son, you gotta get up for dinner.
He's only halfway through his long rest.
I don't consent.
I didn't shake you, I shook your bed.
Still consent.
You can shake your bed. I mean, you could choose to have it not wake you up.
Do it in. Do it in.
You still have to eat or you get exhaustion anyway.
I got rations.
Okay.
It's fine. He doesn't want to come. He doesn't have to.
Alright. So,
You walk downstairs and he's sitting at the bar.
oh, so he's been drinking for hours? Oh man, he must be hammered.
And he smoked.
Got a few drinks in me.
He toasty. Is Pinky still sitting on Doken? His face?
Doken and Pink Mango are both not there.
Are any of the Doken crew down there? Did I notice a dwarf in the hallway? Alright, so she'll pull up a seat next to Bharrik. She goes, how was your afternoon?
Well, I met an old man who gave me some stuff to smoke. And we had a little chat about bringing peace to people.
What people?
What the fuck were they called again?
Chaos
Slay
and
and Chaos.
Slaying chaos. Told me if I bring him peace, he could teach me how to hit harder.
That means that is a pretty heavy task.
Sounds like it.
Because I'm pretty sure they hate each other.
He said there's been a lot of fighting with them. I could save a lot of people from dying.
Well, of course, stopping war would save people from dying. She orders a beer.
Autumn. Here's one. Brings it over to you.
Hold on, Bharrik. Autumn?
Yes.
I'd like to order some... Do you have a small keg to go?
I can arrange that. Sure.
Just have a dinner later at a friend's house.
Okay.
Right, thank you.
She starts preparing it.
Did you see where the king went?
He was gone by the time I got back.
Now Sorin is passed out, so I guess it's just us for dinner.
6:30, you said?
It's 6 when he got up.
And he's long rest until 10?
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
I did this for you, man. Enjoy your role play. Got this.
What are you son of a bitching?
I don't know. So let's get ready to go to dinner. Let's see what these people have to say.
Well, I got to wait for Zabia, but I'm fucking hungry.
Remember the letter.
A couple minutes go by and Order brings you over to the castle.
You're gonna want to find out as much about the order as possible.
Sorin didn't share that with Vekni?
I gave it to him. He was there. He sat down at the table with me.
I'll go ahead and slide this over to you.
What is this?
Don't pass it off.
I'm not passing off, I'm sharing,
okay.
sharing some information. It was a letter that the guy in that brown cloak wrote. He'll be at dinner tonight.
Who's the older?
I don't know, that's what we gotta find out.
I mean, if there is a big reward, it might be worth it. So she'll take the cask and she'll go, put it on Doke instead.
She nods. The king hasn't paid his tab in a long time, but okay. He does seem to know you.
Well, my friend is his stepson.
That explains it.
Alright, so we'll go to North's house. But on the way, do we pass his shop?
Sure.
Alright, Vekni will just walk past and check to see if the door's locked.
It is locked.
Just check it. And there's no town guards that are noticeable.
You haven't really seen like a guard, like sentries. At no point since you've been at the Dawghouse, you've never noticed sentries. There's not a lot of people there.
Yeah. That's probably why he can't make sales. All right,
I
so
would say that you could surmise that there were probably like somewhere around 100 people or so that live there. That's it.
that's no wonder he can't make sales. So he made bank when we showed up. All right, so Vekni will walk up to the door and knock.
So Norsk opens the door, and he's wearing these tan khaki pants, black, very nicely polished dress shoes, and a red dress shirt with there's 3 buttons on the top. It's not like a button, like a full button down. It's one of those button downs that have just a few buttons.
Mm-hmm.
It has 3 buttons, and all 3 of those buttons are unbuttoned, opened, and there's like this gray and black chest hair, fluffy,
Like Pierce Brosnan.
yeah. And even though he's bald, he does have like hairs that are like on the out, kind of like me. He's got hairs that are like on the outskirt, and those few hairs that he has, they look like they're like styled and gelled. I'm like,
Ew.
for you, babe.
Ew. That's the worst. It's like a sleazy car salesman or some shit. So she walks in and she's like, I brought some booze.
Excellent, excellent. Come on in. I'll introduce you to my friend.
Sure. Sorin, he's passed out. I couldn't wake him.
The fancy guy?
He's a fancy guy.
That's okay, I guess. I was hoping to meet all your friends, but it's fine.
Well, I mean, you have met him. He's also paid you a ton of money.
He holds out his hand to Bharrik.
Introduce myself. My name is Bharrik. I've traveled far away to come and join Vekni here. And I appreciate you letting us in for dinner.
He's another one of my concubines.
You're high and drunk, don't forget.
I'm sober now. Well, no, I'm just a little drunk.
He says, cheer and beer. I'm Norse Berserker. I own the deluxe shop in Smithy. We met earlier. I believe that Vekni's friend bought you a shield.
Yeah, it's a very, very nice shield.
Thank you. Come on in.
We'll go in.
He leads you in a very humble home. There's a fire burning in the hearth. There's a table set with 5 places. Obviously, one of those places isn't going to be filled.
So that means there's more beer for me.
There is already a gentleman sitting at one of the tables, and he stands up. He doesn't meet either of your gazes. He kind of was like looking down and looking around. Hi, how you doing?
Autistic.
The name's Fenris. Nice to meet you.
Well, hello, Finish. I am Vekni.
I am Bharrik.
Yes. I met Sorin, your friend. Yes.
I kind of nudge over to Vekni and say,
He's got the cloak, yes.
put in my chest where the letter is. That's it.
Alright, in due time. Fenris, are you from here?
No, not originally. No, not originally.
Now, does Fenris look like a middle-aged man like Norsk?
Yeah.
Okay.
But thinner, very thin, scrawny. He's got one of those pointy, think like an Adrian Brody nose.
Ooh,
he's got one of those. That's his nose. But balding.
Where are you from?
I hail from Dalcopel.
What brings you out here?
Well, a lot of things have changed in the kingdom since Vigor took over, and I just was looking for somewhere to avoid the war, and I wanted to be peaceful, and I didn't want to. I heard Medicine Man was here, and I wanted to be with him and be safe and stay away from the fighting.
Is Norsk here, or is he cooking?
He's not in the room anymore. He's like in the back. You can hear the clatter of dishes and silverwares, and you could smell that something is cooking. Like he is preparing, getting your meal ready.
Vekni will stand up and she'll put her hand on Bharrik's shoulder and she'll squeeze it a little bit, and she'll be like, "I'll be right back. Get to know him a little better." And she'll head into the kitchen where Norsk is.
Did North say originally say there's him and 2 friends were coming over?
No, just one.
Just one. So Bharrik goes and sits down next to Farron, right? Fenris. And I kind of sit next to him, kind of lean a little bit, keep my voice low.
Isn't Fenris the name of the wolf?
And
From Hela?
I bring up the note.
Fenrir.
And I ask him about the order.
Well, didn't your friend Sorin already know about them? He had their symbol. I can't share that information if you guys don't know. How did you get that symbol? How do you get the symbol? And he's like scratching his neck, and he's like, and now he's starting to sweat again, like he did in the bar.
How we got the symbol doesn't matter.
It matters. It matters a lot. I can't tell you about it. I can't tell you about it if you don't know. I can't tell you if you don't know. And now he's looking at you. If you don't know, I can't tell you about it. His eyes are like wide. Where'd you get that symbol from?
He got the symbol from someone, but we didn't know where.
It's his first time, man.
I know where he got the symbol.
It's his first time.
Symbol.
It's his first time.
Yeah, so wait, hold on, but I wouldn't know where.
You wouldn't know, but you could assume that since Sorin maybe Vekni knows.
But you're not in the room.
I'm not. I'm letting you do it. I'm just saying that your character might be able to assume that.
Okay.
Cast Zone of Truth on him.
It was Marigold, right? Give it to
Yes, but
Yeah.
you wouldn't know that, though.
Yeah, you don't even know who Marigold is.
you. Right.
Yeah. Because you never met her.
But
You hear, and you see him slowly start to bring a dagger out from his sword belt. So you don't know about the order? You don't know about them?
which Marigold showed him the symbol.
You don't know.
You don't know that.
But we're saying that we could have talked and he could have told me.
Oh, yeah, we could say that. Yeah, well, he would have known about Marigold because we told him what happened to Trogdor.
Okay,
That's true.
that's fair.
Marigold flashed an image to Sorin and showed him that symbol.
Just cast Zone of Truth on a guy.
Relax, Joe. Just do spells.
So what can you tell me about it? And please put your weapon away. There's no need for that.
They'll kill me. I thought that you knew about them. I thought you were here from them to find Medicine Man, like I was. But I can't get away from this place to tell him. I can't tell them. I can't leave. I'll never survive the trek through the swamp again.
What?
We can, though.
We could survive the trip.
He puts the he kind of resheaths the dagger. He says, "We'll have to speak about this quickly. You know nothing. You know nothing about the order. The order of dominance."
Diamonds, you say?
Diamonds or dominance?
Dominance.
Or dominance?
Diamonds, you say?
I heard diamonds. So what's the order of dominance?
Zimmler, the medicine man, he left them. There is no leaving the water. They've been searching for him. They wanted his location so they can come take him out. Can you relay his location to them for me?
It's possible. What's
I already saw that your friend spoke with one of his men about Vigor Valley City.
And what's in this? What's in it for us if we give you the medicine man?
Service to the order is service for life. You'll have influence over the world that no one else does. You see,
Illuminati.
you see the order. They control all things.
Yeah.
They control what happens. They control what happens throughout the world, while it be in Moonronia, Tortea, Dadius, or even here. Wouldn't you like to have your hand in something like that?
Control is always a good thing.
Yes.
How would You just need his location? Or do I need to...
I know his location, but that information needs to be conveyed to the order. I can't safely reach them. I already know I can't make it through that swamp of death. I'm not strong enough.
Well, where is the order? How do we get to him?
Well, I can't give you that information unless you agree. He brings out the dagger again. He brings it out all the way, and he puts it on the table, and he goes, "So what's your answer?"
I guess I'll accept.
Okay. Puts it away. And he goes back to how he was acting before and looks away from you. You must find an agent or find an order member. Well, one of them can be found in the town of Nightfall. You see, there are 13 in total. 13 order members. One's in the town of Nightfall, and one's at the Order of the Consecrated Righteous. And those are the only 2 locations that I know.
Just have to check the tape.
Is that Nightfall?
I thought you did. I thought I did too, but it's not part of my inventory though, for sure.
I'm guessing none of those are on this map here, right?
Yep.
How far are these places?
The Order of the Consecrated Righteous Temple is near the capital of Dovah, and Nightfall is in the northernmost section of King Lorien's Valley.
So we have to go through Pride Cutter's Keep to get there?
Yeah.
So see Pride Cutter's Keep right there?
Yeah.
So see that like brown piece of duty that goes up top of it?
Yeah.
It's actually a bridge to the next area.
This up here?
Yeah, that's a bridge to the next map.
So I guess
you
over
don't
there?
Yeah. So you don't see it because, you know,
Right.
we haven't gotten a key that unlocks that door yet.
So where are we now currently?
We are in Epona's Bog, which is far left-hand side.
Yeah, we're still over here.
Yeah. It's just a section of it, but it's all of it. It's all the same thing.
Yeah, alright, so what's this place called?
These are the kind of things you write in your notes section,
Yeah.
so you remember the shit.
I do throw a lot of locations and names and
I am
factions.
fucking terrible at that stuff.
I throw a lot of that stuff.
So what's the name we're heading to?
One of the places is called Nightfall, and one of the places is called Order of the Consecrated
Is that
Righteous.
the name of the city? The town?
Nightfall.
Nightfall?
Order of the
Was that the name of the town from your one shot?
No.
What's the name of that town?
Piltover.
Piltover, that's it.
And that's in Moonronia. That's not in this continent.
Okay.
Order of the Consul what?
Consecrated Righteous.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Consul something, okay.
Yeah, he's a dick with that shit.
And what's the one that's above Pride Keeper's Keep? Pride Cutter's Keep?
Nightfall.
So that's where we want to head.
That's where we want to head to figure out this. But there are areas of this area we've never even been to yet. We have not been to Widow Falls, we have not been to Comet Mountain, and we have not been to Birdhaven.
Or Pride Cutter Keep.
Or Pride Cutter Keep, correct. We've been to 3 spots. We've been to Epona's Bog, which we're in, Vigor Valley City, which we completely dismantled.
You did like literally everything you could possibly do there, though. Like you explored the fuck out of that
run by
city.
ghouls and a hag of some kind.
Thanks to you. And you killed like a bunch of the leaders.
Fuck around and find out. And then Queen's Grace, which is where we really want to head to next after this.
Nope. Gotta go cut through the ducks.
That's not on this map.
So, the guy's calmed back down now?
Yeah, now he's calmed back down.
It's still all shady-eyed?
Shifting, his eyes are all shifting, he still is like kind of stuttering.
Alright, so I call over to Vekni to find out how's dinner and drinks coming along.
So you see him preparing like a ribeye steak, fish eggs, and a salad with this creamy orange dressing in the kitchen area.
Alright, so Vekni, when she walks in, she'll saunter over and like pop up on the counter and sit next to him. She goes, "Perhaps this smells delicious."
I thank you, Vekni. I pulled out all the stops knowing that you were coming. How have things been with Fenris? Has he been somewhat normal?
You were not wrong about him being weird, so I left him with my weird friend.
That makes sense. And it gives us some time to bond, just me and you.
Yeah, and she'll tap the keg. She'll pour each of them a beer.
He tries to interlock his arm with yours to drink.
She kind of like stutters, and she's like, she bangs it back. She goes, I have not eaten since, was it yesterday when we had dinner? She's kind of drooling a little bit. She's like, I'm a little hungry. And
those will be ready in a minute. Why don't you have a seat and I'll bring this out for you.
Alright, so do you have any more flasks, cups?
He gives you 3 ice.
They have refrigerators.
Yep.
They're fancy.
So she'll fill them and bring them out to the guys out there.
Sure.
And she'll hand them out and she'll sit down and go, so what are you boys talking about?
I'll fill you in our travels back for Sorin.
Say it again?
So I'll fill you in when we go back to find Sorin. And got a mission.
Another one.
It's always another one.
So how's he doing?
He got a little testy, but I think he's calm now. He's special.
My lady?
So what's the order?
I kind of nudge Vekni and kind of whisper.
Norse doesn't know about this stuff.
Norsk is cooking.
I kind of whisper over, like I got the info on the order. And
so are you a vampire?
Why would you ask him that?
Because they told us this symbol was for vampires.
Oh. No, I'm not a vampire.
So it's
one of the 13 is a vampire.
It's a 13. What is this, a 13?
Bharrik can tell you all about them.
so I kind of leaned in and said, today, kind of nudge you over, show him, kind of flash the note for a second, said, order.
No, not the one, 2.
Do what? Two orders.
Be careful when dealing with him. Be careful.
Is that the name?
2 out of 13.
Oh, it's number 2 is the vampire. I'm assuming.
Dangerous.
Well, I assume vampires are often dangerous.
Not like this one.
Trogdor would do a fuck.
Trogdor would just die. He would make it. He would never make it.
Is this vampire's name, since I've heard someone tell the story, is his name Vlad?
No.
What is it?
You and Bharrik are new to this. You do not speak their names. We do not speak their names. Names have power. Do not speak the names.
Can you write it?
Just call him 2. Call him vampire. That is it. Do not speak the names.
Sounds degrading for a powerful man.
If you say.
Did he tell you which location 2 is at?
The Nightfall.
Of course.
Okay. So, how long have you been in the doghouse?
But been trapped here.
Trapped?
2 years.
How are you trapped?
Kona's bog. I cannot get through.
I mean, you got through it to get here.
I came with the others. None lived.
Well, I mean, you could always hang out with us when we leave.
May I?
I don't care. It's just you have to watch your own back.
Yes, I would like to leave.
Oh, I don't know when we're leaving, but hopefully soon.
Okay. I don't want to be here anymore.
I get it.
Pink. I went with Pink Mango to Vigor Valley City. I thought I'd be able to get away from her, but it wasn't safe. And we got trapped there with the quarantine.
Sorry about that.
Yes.
But I mean, at least there's a hell of a woman we stuck with.
I never had a chance to escape her.
What do you mean escape her?
If at any point in our journey I went off on my own, I would have died.
Why?
Too dangerous in Dovah right now.
So how would these women protect you?
She's a lot stronger than me.
Is she a part of this order too?
She doesn't know anything about the order.
Why are you so nervous?
I'm not nervous. I'm not scared. I want to live.
I mean, that is important.
He looks at you. The order. You cross them, and they'll kill you like that.
I mean, a lot of people want to kill me like that. We won't be the first people. But, and she leans back in her chair and she goes, it could be the last. And she takes a big swig of her ale.
He hears you say that, and for the first time you see him actually smile. And he tilts his head back and he...
Well, I'm going to go check on D now. You have fun with this one.
She walks, and as she gets behind him, she goes,
So what else can you tell me about your travels here?
I know the swamp is dangerous. Norsk is a good man. He's a good friend.
How long have you known him?
Since shortly after I arrived here in the Dawghouse. Even the medicine man is good, but he must die.
Why do they need the medicine man?
Because he left the order, and that's not allowed. He was one of the 13.
guess it's all 12 now.
No, there are 13 again.
A new member took a spot?
There was a new one. A new member
After
since
6 hours, you could probably walk over.
since Zimmler
Not
left.
doing anything strenuous.
I think the last 2 hours of his rest he's allowed to do that. I
Yeah,
think.
so like 8 he could head over.
You see, they found someone new.
Why did he leave?
Number 13, this skin changer. He can take the.
Oh shit!
What?
It's Zeno. 100%. Keep going with this. He can shape what?
A lot of people can change shape. It's a spell.
No, not this guy.
There's also a whole species that can change shape.
He can take the shape of others.
Reasons that to come in spell.
So for Zeno, it's not a spell.
It's probably not enough.
What is that?
You think this is common?
Well, I've literally seen people do it.
For all you know, you've met him already.
Possible. Like I said, it's just a common low-level spell. Wait, I can't wait for dinner to come out.
And at that, Norse comes out, and he comes out with plate after plate of ribeye, medium rare, cooked. Smells delicious.
Medium rare.
Fish eggs.
Better be.
Plates of fish eggs and the salad with this creamy orange dressing on it.
I'm gonna eat that.
And there's like vegetables and whatnot.
Egg
And some roasted bar nuts, of course. This is a specialty of the Dawghouse.
It's my favorite.
Do they have a legume farm?
Yes.
Vekni is just gonna start digging in because she hasn't eaten in a day.
Yeah, Bharrik, after traveling and learning of the passing, he's gonna just start eating a sadness.
So it's like anime eating. Is it good?
It's very good. It's not like 5-star cuisine, but it's a solid home cooked meal of pretty good ingredients. Yeah. And around the time that you guys are getting close to finishing, I'd say 6 hours has passed into Sorin's rest.
Okay. I'll wake up. Ritual cast my unseen servant. Redress me, take care of me, fix my hair. I'll make my way over.
Okay. So as Norsk is cleaning up the dishes and the plates and everything and putting everything away, we could say that Sorin arrives.
Okay. Throughout the meal, whatever, Vekni is just getting up, getting drinks, and constantly giving Norsk another glass.
Do I have any roofies on me?
Why do they call them roofies?
Flores.
What the fuck's a roofalin?
Is there roofalin in the Dwarf Paladin's starting equipment?
Yes.
It can be.
What's your alignment?
My alignment? I think it's the same as before.
Fuck!
Lawful good.
He's not gonna let me rob this store.
He doesn't know any better.
But I guess by lookout. I didn't rob it. But I was there looking out for you.
That would be chaotic good.
Someone I don't know can't hurt me. I was just hanging out in the hallway.
Alignment's weird.
Yeah.
But it's good. I like alignment because it helps you to determine the decision your characters will make. Like a lawful good is like a Captain America. Like you don't do bad. You can't do bad. A chaotic good is like a it would be a good chaotic good. Like a neutral good would be like a Batman.
Okay.
Chaotic good would be.
Was Iron Man picked lawful good?
Yeah, I think Iron Man is a chaotic good. That's probably good.
Right?
He kind of just does stuff.
He built Ultron.
Yeah, but he didn't do it on the purpose of Ultron fucking shit
That's
out.
what I'm saying. Chaotic good.
Chaotic good. No, you're more. Your outlook is to do good, but you're more focused on yourself.
Eli from Book of Eli is chaotic good, I would say.
Is he?
Really?
I think so.
How?
How? He was. If anything, he's lawful good.
Yeah, he was
There is
bound
a
to
law.
that book. Yeah, but lawful doesn't mean you follow the laws. It means you do what's like the absolute right.
But he's killing people. He still kills
That's
people.
fair. Yeah. Maybe neutral good. I think he'd probably.
You don't think chaotic?
He only
He's not
killed. He
chaotic.
only ever killed people in defense. He never ever went out of his way to kill anybody ever.
Okay.
He only and he was 100% lawful good. Hell, even God, like, blessed this dude to send him on his holy journey.
Fine. To save the Bible.
He was blind, shooting people.
With a sniper.
Well, no. But when you find out that he's blind in that movie,
That makes no sense.
It's crazy.
It makes no sense.
No, because you know that it was God's divine intervention.
You seen the movie, Keith?
Which one is this?
Book of Eli?
I saw it like
Oh, Denzel.
15 something
7.
years ago whenever it came out.
I saw it in the theater once.
Yeah.
But I still remember it.
I've seen it a few times. The movie's awesome.
I liked it.
Doesn't he kill a cat with a bow and arrow?
I don't remember.
Food.
Yeah, in the beginning of the movie. Isn't he like sitting there with the bow on his feet and he's like this? And then the cat walks in the main.
I think the first scene, he's getting attacked by a bunch of dudes, and he brings them into an underpass to fight them.
because that gives him a gigantic advantage. But you don't know that when you're watching when you're watching.
Starting for them, but he's
For him,
already
it's the
blind. He's already blind.
Yeah.
You are.
What's Bane's line?
You only
invented
You only adopted the dog.
I was born.
I was born
Molded blind.
I like that scene.
Yeah.
So, like I said, the only reason why I picked lawful good, because that's what paladins are. So
Yeah.
I don't really know what the differences are.
Yeah, well,
Think
I mean,
of yourself like
it's fine.
Captain America.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you pick lawful good, you have to be like, Captain America's like language.
That's fucking boring.
Yeah, that's what everybody says about lawful good. Lawful neutral is like we said, like Spider-Man's like a lawful neutral.
Okay.
He's kind of like a dick, but he's not. He's always doing the right thing. He doesn't follow the law. Batman's the same thing. Doesn't follow the law, but he does the right thing. That's what neutral good does. They do the right thing. They don't necessarily follow the law.
So in neutral good or lawful good, rob a shopkeeper that has invited you into his home and fed you and done nothing wrong.
No, I didn't say that. That would be the right
If you're a
choice.
lawful good, you would do everything in your power to stop Vekni from doing this.
Yeah, neutral good would you do what's good for others with disregard of the law.
That's why it's really important to know who your god is. Like, what is your...
Oh, for a paladin.
Is it still Barrow or True Silver?
No, it was one that was, I forget the name off the top of my head. It was one about just like battles and fights and army and whatnot.
Let's see. Lawful neutral is like lawful good follows the law for the good of people. Lawful neutral follows the law. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad for people. True neutral is just... What's a good way to describe true neutral? They can help.
So lawful good is like Superman.
Oh yeah, we can do that too.
Yeah.
Where it just does good, follows the law for the good of people.
Always definitely make it known to us and to other characters. You can even, do things like, oh, he's lying, but...
But if I see it as taking stuff from the store to strengthen ourselves in battle.
Did you change your alignment?
No, so I don't like that answer because your god is about that. Like, about this. Like, he is okay with that because...
Alright, so here's some
you're
advice for
doing
you.
this.
Hold on, Joe. Here's some advice for you. Pick a fictional character to base your character on. My first character, Kevleon, I base him on Jon Snow. So I try to think of what Jon Snow would do.
Okay.
And right now, Vekni is kind of a mix between like Jack Sparrow and someone that's not Jack Sparrow. It flip-flops every day.
So his deity is Clangdon Silverbeard. He's a dwarven deity of battle and honor and warfare. He was known as the father of battle and the lord of twin axes. So twin axes are like his holy symbol.
Okay.
Right? It's pretty cool. His holy symbol was, two across that battle axis. He delighted in battle, although he did not tolerate treachery or deceit.
Oh,
and is expected for his followers to do the same. He and his followers hated giants and trained their fellow dwarves in special ways to fight them. War is our finest hour of dwarven kind. So I was just telling him as a lawful good character, that should be the law that he follows.
Yeah.
Warfare and hating on those who use treachery or are deceitful.
So he wants to do battle, and he wants to oppose people that are trying to be secret. So he would hate Fenris.
He would not like Fenris.
He wouldn't like this.
He would not like Sorin if you openly knew Sorin was lying.
I don't think he does.
But you wouldn't.
But he would hate Fenris.
You would hate the fact that like Vekni's character, right, openly goes to bars and just steals liquor, and it's part of her backstory.
Well, steal it, just don't pay.
He just doesn't pay. So that would be
Someone else's town.
Him robbing that the shop. I don't think your character would like.
Yeah, your character would not like that. Your character would definitely not take watch. So things like this though, they allow for you to find who your character is.
Okay.
Do you have to do it? No. But then don't tell us you're a lawful good character either. Just say you're neutral. So,
But then
Yeah, the easiest is to be neutral.
Yeah, it's the easiest is neutral. You just do whatever you want, depending on what you want to do and how you want to do it.
Yeah, but if you're a good character, you're supposed to be good. If you're an evil character, you're supposed to be evil.
So it
And when it comes
depends
to
on the morality you want to have. Do you want to have the guy whose nose is clean and is always on the right, up and up?
Kavari.
Or do you want to have somebody? No, not Kavari. Kevlin.
Not Kavari?
No, Kavari wasn't always on the up and up.
He wasn't?
No. He was lawful neutral. No, he was neutral something. What was I saying? Or you can have a character has. All right, here's a gradient scale. You got white to black. Do you want to be someone that's completely bright white, or do you want to be a little more in the gray?
Okay.
Or black.
Or black. Nobody wants to be black.
Narsugan Zambini.
good.
That was really fun to play.
You're fucking white.
Lawful evil.
Was it?
I loved playing Narsugan Zambini.
I just like that a big boner for Kevlian.
It was fun to do it like that. I loved it. I had a purpose, I had a mission.
As a lawful good paladin, you're as white as it gets.
Yep. You are the White Knight.
Yeah. My character is lawful evil, but I don't inherently do evil things. If anything, I do more good than evil. But I do that because I'm serving a higher purpose, which is my mother. So
Like a bitch.
I actually do.
I'm chaotic
You
neutral.
have objectives.
So so he's lawful. You said lawful evil.
Yeah.
I'm chaotic neutral. I basically serve myself. Whatever benefits me most is what I'm more interested in. And I've actually said that literally in front of a guy, and he tried to get us killed. Lord Henry.
Oh, Henry.
Makes a little more sense then.
Yeah. Well, Henry doesn't want followers that or allies that are neutral.
To Prince Lorien, the rightful ruler of our kingdom. Bros sighed deeply, and Edgerrin looked extremely nervous, just like before. Perhaps the pair were concerned about what they would face inside the cave. After traveling through the dark, narrow cave for a time, Bros advised the adventurers they had almost reached the end. The clad knight rushed ahead and appeared to descend out of sight. Vekni had an uneasy feeling and passed the king's protector, as well as her magic javelin Ignis, over to Mictlean for him to use in case their group encountered any hostile creatures in the deep dark caverns. The adventurers reached what appeared to be large stone steps leading downwards, and they followed Sir Brost's lead into a large, cavernous room. Inside this new area, the PCs observed giant, mushroom-like fungi and high ledges all around the room. Moments after Vekni, Sorin, and Mictlean descended fully into the area, they heard a loud bang, which reverberated throughout the room. Vekni clutched her whip and turned to the sound, saying to Sorin and Mictlean, "What was that?" Edgerrin stood at the top of the steps. Vekni and her allies surmised there was an open stone door to the side of the entrance into the room when they had entered, but they did not notice it. And Edgerrin, well, he had slammed the door shut. They looked up and saw a monstrous ogre with orange hair and orange sideburns. He was accompanied by a group of orc crossbowmen. The ogre said in broken common, "Oof, you guys pretty fucking stupid falling for this." Mictlean held up his shield and imbued Ignis with magic, lighting it aflame. Sorin asked Sir Brost what was the meaning of this. Brost sighed and responded, "Lord Henry's orders are Lord Henry's orders." Upon hearing those words, Sorin realized himself, Vekni, and Mictlean were in a dire situation. They were facing an ogre, 8 orcs, and the 4 men of Clad, one of which was an anointed knight.
You, the law is your deity, and whatever your deity says goes. And that
Can I change my deity now that I know what it is?
You also don't have to follow it so strictly. You can play it how you want.
If you were just good, then you don't have to follow your deity, you just be a good person. But here's the thing about paladins. Paladins get their spells from their deities.
And their oath. Your oath matters as a paladin.
Yeah.
If you're breaking, if you're constantly breaking
that's
your
how
oath, that can be
paladins used to
bad.
be. Paladins used to be based on the deity they followed. Now in 5e, they're based on the oath they take.
Yeah,
So you don't have to be
What oath do you
lawful
take?
good.
I think I took the same one because once again I really didn't know what the fuck.
What is it though?
Well, yeah, you got like ancients, vengeance.
If you're going to constantly break your oath, then it's going to make your magic weaker potentially.
Oh, Dan will love that.
What's your oath?
Right now I just did Oath of Devotion because I was just.
So yeah, if anything, yeah. So your oath of devotion. Who do you think you're devote to? Your God. It doesn't get any more devote than that. So.
And back at the game.
Okay. So, yeah, you plied him with drinks and he was drinking them. That's where we left off.
Okay. So he starts clearing off the plates. And Vekni will get up and help him clear the table.
You hear
That's right, you're showing up.
I'll go up and grab the door for him.
You see the young human wizard, Sorin and Vekni, standing here at the door.
Look who decided to show up.
hope there's still dinner.
Yeah, some scraps left over.
No. I ate it all.
I was gonna say Vekni probably ate them.
It smells like that. It was a good meal.
It's okay. Is there any kind of wine?
Yeah, beer, just the beer. And you're at like the bottom of the cask. Well, so it's like the dregs of it.
Here in spirit.
Kind of nudge Sorin to the side and tell him that I found out information about the letter. And
I was here, so if you want, you can say it. So my character tells him everything.
a second.
And I was part of the conversation, so you can just say my character tells Sorin our conversation, rather than trying to remember it.
Oh, okay, so yeah, my character fills Sorin in on what me and Fenris spoke about at the table.
There you go. It's a lot easier.
Okay.
So there's a new member.
This is number 13. A skin changer.
Where are all the 13 members?
I know of two. A vampire and a skin changer.
I've never actually met any of them, but there's a swordsman, a vampire, scholar, warlock, the flame, the totem, the commander, the master, the summoner, the paladin, the parasite, the skin changer. Is that 13?
I missed the first at 3.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
11?
Yeah, I got 11. Got flame, warlock, scholar, totem, vampire, commander, master, summoner, paladin, parasite, skin changer.
The generator? Is that 13?
Yep.
Who was the paladin?
I know not the number, but he can be found at the temple of the consecrated righteous.
Oh, Sorin, you arrived. Missed dinner.
It appears so. It appears so.
I know you weren't here, and I was very hungry.
It's okay. I'll just have to eat more nuts and rations.
I couldn't help overhear you say, the master.
Yes, he's the one Modio serves.
So
That's what I was getting at. How do you know Modio?
He's an agent like me.
What group was Modio from?
He was in the group called Lions.
And the master was the master of the Lions? He was the leader?
No. Roll a history. DC is 12.
Nope.
We know that is not true.
Master, tall, dark, gray hair, black mask, sends agents to influence the state of the world.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Can you tell us more about this new 13th member?
I don't know his name, but I overheard Modio say that he is in the war.
What information can you give us of the other members?
Generally, the lower the number, the stronger. So the first would be much stronger than the last.
Who's the first?
The vampire.
No, that's number 2.
The swordsman's strongest.
And what do you know of him?
I know his name, but I cannot say.
Why not?
Their names have power. We can't say the names. An agent says the name, get punished.
Can you write it down?
No.
Can you
So what is this, like a
rhyme it to something?
like a Voldemort kind of thing?
He who shall not be named.
Yeah.
They can't say his names. They can't say their names.
They can't, or they choose not to. If they physically cannot, what are the
I physically cannot say their names. I'm sorry, but he's very strong. I don't know where he is.
Vekni will say, well, if you cannot say their name. She leans in and she touches the amulet of thought, whatever it's called, thought reading.
Oh.
And she was, then allow me to understand these names.
What's the parameters on that spell?
It says, where is it? Medallion of Thoughts. Oops. The medallion has 3 charges. While wearing it, you can use an action to expend 1 charge to cast Detect Thoughts spell, DC 13 from it, and the medallion regains 1d3.
How long does it last?
About 1 minute. Oh, it's very long. For the duration, you can read the thoughts of certain creatures when you cast the spell, and as your action on each turn until the spell ends, you can focus your mind on any one creature that you can see within 30 feet. If the creature you choose has an intelligence of 3 or lower, or doesn't speak any language, the creature is unaffected. You initially learn the surface thoughts of the creature, what's most on its mind in the moment. As an action, you can either shift your attention to another creature's thoughts or attempt to probe deeper at the same creature's mind. If you probe deeper, the target must make a wisdom saving throw. If it fails, you gain insight into its reasoning, if any, its emotional state, and something that looms large on its mind, such as something it worries over, loves, or hates. If it succeeds, the spell ends. Either way, the target knows that you are probing its mind, and unless you shift your attention to another creature's thoughts, the creature can use its action on its turn to make an intelligence check to contest by your intelligence check. If it succeeds, the spell ends. Questions verbally directed at the creature naturally shape, of course, the course of its thoughts, so this spell is particularly effective as a part of an interrogation. You can also use the spell to detect the presence of thinking creatures you can't see. When you cast the spell or as an action during the duration, you can search for the thoughts within 30 feet of you. The spells can penetrate barriers, but that doesn't really affect anything right now.
So if you ask him, I have to roll a save against it?
So
if he contests it.
So he initially learns the surface thought of the creature and what's most on its mind at that moment. But as an action, you can either shift your attention to another creature or attempt to probe deeper into the same creature's mind. And if he probes deeper, the target must make a wisdom saving throw. If it fails, you gain insight into its reasoning, if any, its emotional state, and something that looms large on its mind.
I just read that.
Didn't you just read that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for rereading it.
Well, it didn't sound like you understood everything Kevin said, so.
Okay. So how are you doing it? You're going to ask him a question, then use it?
Yeah.
So you asked him.
Oh, I just said something. What did I say? I said, but if you can't say it, perhaps all you need to think it. And she grabs the amulet.
I don't think it's a good idea for me to give you the name.
I probe his mind.
So I have to roll a save? What's the save I have to roll?
Well, he doesn't have to initially.
Well, initially it's just surface thoughts, so
initially it's
I'll
just surface
cast it and
thoughts.
see what he's thinking.
He's thinking la 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 la.
No, like his emotions and stuff.
Oh,
what he's feeling. Like the initial thoughts, it says
fear. He's afraid.
Yeah.
Fearful.
All right.
For himself. He fears for himself.
Okay. So then now she'll probe deeper.
We'll have to roll.
And you need to.
Hold on, don't roll it. Important too. Change it.
Oh, so
a wisdom save of 13.
He failed.
Okay, so then she asks, what is the swordsman's name?
His name is Sparatolo. You read that from his mind.
And then if I probe deeper, you would have to make a contested intelligence against mine.
Do you have to use another charge?
Nope, it's an action for a minute. After she gets that answer, she'll say, who's the commander?
Can I roll again against it?
Yeah, it's an intelligence against me. I didn't roll
Don't
yet.
roll. Well, don't roll your thing yet, Dan.
I didn't roll yet.
Roll.
15 plus...
I'll port in your thing.
To make it what?
7.
Okay.
So passed.
His name is Vazvagat.
That's the commander.
He has 2 portents for that shit.
Vazvagat.
I don't know. So how do you spell that?
Vozvigat.
I know who the shapeshifter is.
It's a paladin.
That was a commander?
9.
You win.
I'll portent.
You have 3?
Not portent. No, I'm not portent. Silvery barbs. I'll give Kevin advantage.
4.
Is that total?
Yeah.
You win. Doesn't matter what you roll this time. You rolled a 4.
I rolled a crit 1, so I gotta see what my intelligence is.
I gave you advantage.
Alright, so 7. The paladin.
Fontaine.
Oh.
I would just figure out who all 13 are at this point.
Literally what
I'm gonna
doing.
blow all my spells and all. I don't care.
The parasite.
16.
19 plus 1. 20.
Barakin. Just Bracken.
Let's see. This is the generator.
7.
16 plus 1.
Manus Rayon.
Manus Rayon.
While you're doing this, after that last one, he's like, please, you must stop. You can't learn their names.
Spell ends.
Hmm?
The spell ends.
Do you find the swordsman name?
Swordsman, yes, it's Sparatololo.
Sparatolo.
Sparatololo.
Maybe we'll have to find out who that shape changer was.
Oh, I only have a minute.
That's true. Again! Break his mind! Fracture it.
So Vekni will lean back in her chair and be like, what are you worried about? You spoke no names.
It's very dangerous to spread knowledge. Few in Cortania know of the Order, even of its existence.
What is the Order's view on Vigal and Forte?
Vigor must fall.
Oh, there are some things that we agree on. What of their thoughts on Prince Lorien and their claims with the throne?
The Order doesn't care about Lorien or Dovah. It's Maki they care about.
Maki is part of the Fury Lords?
Maki is one of the Fury Lords, yes. He was one of them. He was one of the Order.
So the Order's trying to take down the Fury Lords?
No. Just Maki.
But you said that Vigo must fall.
He is...
Isn't Maki the strongest of the three, too?
He was one of the... one of the Order. Like Zimmler, he left.
Who's Zimla?
You know him as the Medicine Man. They must both die.
Is there a reward for returning Zimla?
Yes.
Now, do we need to bring him to someone, or just tell him where he is?
If you were just to tell the Order where he is, they'll take care of the rest.
And there's a reward for this.
Oh, yes.
Financial?
You will get to be a part of those that control the entire world.
Does that sound interesting? No? Now where can we find these? Who is the closest?
I have a feeling this is what my mother wants me to stop.
Why?
So that's the whole purpose of us bringing the Burning Fist back together again.
To stop him?
To stop disorder. I just have a feeling that they'll serve blank.
They what?
That they serve blank.
Do they serve blank?
I don't know what blank is.
Inside. $14.
You believe him?
Silvery barbs.
Okay. You believe him?
Kevin rolls again.
Hmm?
Kevin rolls again. His
He rolls
advantage.
again?
Kevin will roll again. His advantage.
Isn't that for his next roll? Or it's for this roll?
Next.
Nice, yeah. So who is the closest of this?
Zone of truth. Zone of truth. God.
Actually, yeah.
Alright.
Now's the time.
So cast Zone of Truth on him to give us the information.
So I know you did this, right?
Yes, and you can.
I could choose to not answer.
You can choose to not answer, but if you do answer, it can't be a lie.
What is your
And what is Zone of Truth? Is that a cone?
He says, I don't know who or what blank is.
Is there a save?
Yeah. 13 charisma.
Okay. And you'll know if he passed?
Yes.
He failed.
On a failed save, the creature can't speak a deliberate lie while in the radius.
I don't know who or what blank is.
How long does the spell last?
It lasts 10 minutes.
Who is the closest member here to here?
It would be the vampire.
In Nightfall.
Mm-hmm. But it's still quite far. It's in the northern part of King Lorian's Valley.
Are there any members of the Burning Fist part of this 13?
No.
So he knows who's the beneficiaries at least, I guess. How old are you?
50.
Okay, he's an old dude. Does the master, does he live in with the lions?
No.
Was he was almost struck down by Multios Faza.
I don't know anything about that.
When was the last time you spoke to Modio?
When he gave me my mission.
When was that?
6 months ago. Even to Lorgans we never spoke. We act like strangers.
Who is the third strongest?
I would assume it would be the third seat. The scholar.
The fourth?
I would assume it would be the warlock.
Fifth?
The master.
Sixth?
The flame.
Seven?
Not sure.
Do you not know the bottom half of the list?
I know who the 13th is. The 10th is the parasite. I don't know the other ones, but their numbers are.
Does the order care anything of Queen Grace and Slay?
No.
Do they have any power in Sadius or any of the surrounding continents?
Oh, they have power. Yeah, they have power. They rule the world. They influence the world through the regions.
Are any of them sitting as strong?
Yes.
She looks over at Sorin. She goes, he's the ruler of Ferelden, one of these members.
No.
I know you said that the Burning Fist isn't. Oh, that's true.
Did you enjoy Dina?
It was delicious. I really enjoyed it.
Do you know where we can find some members of the Burning Fist?
We already know where they are.
I have no idea where Bretson is. Morgan?
Who's that?
The only one I really know is I heard that the one that works for Maki was one of those Burning Fist people. That orc, Odoacer.
What abilities do you have?
I can't do much.
Are you a magic user?
No.
Is there any things that you special you could do, or you just a normal?
Go with the knife. I could gut someone if they're not expecting it.
I
Pretty
think
well.
anybody could gut somebody.
So you were a member of this order?
Oh no, I'm just one of their agents. No, I'm not one. I'm not a member.
What use to them were you?
I'm sorry.
What use of them were you?
Well, they need agents to go across the world to do their bidding. They need people that they could trust. They'll be loyal. Like I hope the three of you will be.
As long as their gold is good.
Count on us.
It's good to hear.
How do you feel about this, Lawful Good?
He's being very truthful right now.
He is being truthful.
You
You
can't
have
lie.
10 minutes of questions you can ask him. Actually, that really works for your character, by the way, too.
Good cut, bad cut.
Does own the truth.
Yeah, because your character doesn't like deceit.
What's our best course of action against these?
Against what?
These. What the fuck are these things called?
Order?
The order.
Against them? What do you mean against them?
If we go there, are they going to attack us?
You're doing their bidding. Why would they attack you? You're doing what they want. They need agents. They don't wantonly kill their agents.
Yeah, but we're not their agents.
But your friend said that you were going to relay Medicine Man's location to them.
So as a reward. So as a reward.
They want him dead. It's really valuable to them to know where he is.
Vekni will lean in and she'll say, the bounty hunter business is very lucrative. And she'll pat her money purse that's like this off her side.
What's our safest passage?
My understanding is that the Vigor destroyed the bridge past Pride Cutter Keep. I think you're going to have to go underneath.
Ooh.
Through the labyrinth.
Ooh.
That is probably where we could find Redlack. If he can't get through Pride Cutter Keep to get to the
Through the labyrinth.
What is it?
It's David Bowie.
The docks?
Cutthroat stuff.
Cutthroat docks.
The massive launch.
Yeah. It's a cod piece.
Okay, well, you can go under Pride Cutter's Keep.